If you're there, I'll be right there. Okay. Nicki Minaj's father killed in a hit and run on Long Island. Wow. Okay, so let me see. Go back to YouTube. YouTube. And go to YouTube here. Okay, live. All right. Whoops. Can you guys hear me? I hope so. Can you hear me? Yeah, hopefully. Hi, Sean, Pitbull, Kubi, Carolyn Fraser, Nana T, H. Ruby Girl. It's really bad here in Texas. What do you mean? The weather? Your weather is really bad? Nana Piety, Danielle C, Backdoor, Pitbull, I got you, Danielle C, I already got you, Kathy Kettleson, Potter 64, did Nana T, right? Wendy, hey Wendy, you're too sleepy, sorry. Debbie L, Gail Masters, is this your first time here? Welcome. Karen Lynn, hi. Yes, we had a very nice time. Good time. Good time. Oh, even Roman came. Okay. Suki, hello there. Good to see you. Suki. Jeanette. To see you.
Oh, okay.
All right. Kathy? I think I got you all. Okay, so.
I'm here.
I see that. Let me lower this a little bit. I had this up because we couldn't hear my daughter at all. Okay.
I love this view of your kitchen.
Oh. Yeah, and
It's
the
nice
craft
having a
and the craft fair. If you're looking at the signs over here.
I love that.
Mm-hmm. It's a craft wall.
I really like it.
Mm-hmm.
I do.
Okay. Look, Moo of 2 is here. I think she changed her hours. She was here earlier too.
I know. Moo, we missed you.
Oh, and Puddin is here. 806. Puddin 806. Thing 1. Welcome. So let's see. We were at Lori, Collie, welcome. York Hill, West Virginia, hello there. Nanette, hey there. Nana Betty. Hi, Nana Patty.
Hi, Nana Patty.
Hello.
Hello. How are you feeling?
I'm good.
Lavender Flower. Hi. Hi, Debbie Brett. You're better?
Yeah,
What was it? Your neck?
just exhausted.
Oh, yeah.
I couldn't stay awake for anything.
Kevin Leonard. Hi.
You feeling better, Scooter?
I was fine. It was just stomach issues last
Yeah.
night, so I didn't want to get on, you know, and have to keep,
Run.
Do the cha cha
Have to
cha.
run.
yeah.
I hear you.
Hi,
Hi,
Lorianne. Hi,
Good.
10th Angel.
Just wanna start diamond painting.
Did I just see 10th Angel or not? I thought I just saw 10th Angel, or maybe in my eyes. Hi, Lori Johnson. Hi, Carol Ann, 1971. Carol Ann.
Carol Ann.
Hey, Debbie Brett's back door. I'm gonna go get where we need to be, I guess, and
Yeah, let's see.
I won't have chat, guys.
Okay. We finished with the people. The man that found Connor, right? Is that where we?
Potter said we're at witness 56.
Hi, my Danielle C.
We're witness 56, and Amber is 102.
Jill B. Lavender Flower. Kevin. Nana T. Lorianne.
We did Michael Luby, right? Okay, Eric Newman. The first, I guess, is one of the first responders that came to the scene. It looks like that might be really short. Let me see. Pretty short one. Eric Newman.
Eric Newman.
Eric Newman.
Let me see if I can find him.
July 6th. 56, witness 56.
You're cutting out on mine. Is that just me?
Am I
Must
cutting out?
be.
Am I cutting out for anybody else? Oh, okay.
No.
I think it's mine. Hi, Karen Lynn. I'm feeling fine. I'm Gail B. Booby. JN.
Eric Newman, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Got it.
Ready?
Yes,
Do you have it, Nana Patty?
Hmm?
Do you have it?
Yep.
Okay. So this is July 6th. Direct examination by David Harris of Eric Newman. And that's the first responder that was called when they found Connor's body. Okay. Captain Newman, we can see how you're dressed. For the record, can you tell us what your occupation is?
My current occupation is I'm a fire captain for the city of Richmond, California.
How long have you been employed by the City of Richmond Fire Department?
9 years.
I want to direct your attention back to April 13th of 2003. Were you working or on duty on that particular day?
Yes, I was.
And at some point in time, did you get a 911 dispatch about some body in the area of the shore by Bayside Court?
Yes, I was.
Did you respond to that location?
Yes, I was.
Did you respond to that location?
Sorry. Yes, I was working as a fire captain, and my engine company, Engine 67, responded to the area of the marina for a report of a baby down.
Let me go through this to let me go through this so we can all understand. When you say you are engine 67,
Correct.
so engine 67, and I don't want to seem like a little kid here, but you're talking about the fire engine?
Yes, in the city of Richmond. Each station has their own designated number. So we were out coming from another call, and I got the dispatch for us to respond to the marina area for report of the call.
When you say you and your engine responded,
Me and my company, there is 4 other people with me, my engineer, which is the driver, and 2 other firefighters.
so the 4 of you go out there as a group with your equipment.
Correct.
When you get there, do you go to the house where the 911 call comes from?
Yes, we went to the address on Bayshore. And there was people out waving to us to get our attention because there was some confusion on where exactly we needed to go to get to actually where the baby was. We had to jump a fence and cut through some people's house to actually get to the shoreline.
You were not able to drive your fire engine down to where the body was at?
Correct. We were not able to. We had to disembark from the fire engine. Like I say, climb over the fence and go through some people's house to get to where the baby was.
The fire captain, that means you are the senior person with that particular fire engine?
Not the senior person, but I think the boss. My engineer happened to have 32 years on the job, so he would be the senior guy.
Rephrase. So as the boss, do you send people out to do this, or did you actually climb that fence yourself?
Actually, all 4 of us climbed. In the fire service, we all work together and we all do things together. There is times where I may send an individual to do a task on their own, but most of the time we do everything together as a team.
So all of you climb the fence. Do you meet up with an individual by the name of Michael Luby?
Yes, there was a man and his wife that was there. And again, back up, we had all our medical equipment and stuff with us, bag and defibrillator and things we would need to resuscitate anyone that's down. And we meet up with that individual on the other side of the house there near the shoreline.
So you climb the fence, you get through the backyard, you go up and you meet with this individual. Does that person take you to where the body is at?
Yes, he does.
And when you go to that particular location, is it down in this kind of marshy, swampy area?
It was a long walk. It was a long walk, a very long walk. Probably, I would say, maybe a quarter of a mile, half a mile. It was a ways from the house. So, right, we did have to walk along the path, along the marshy area.
Let me put up some photographs at this point in time that you have already been described. I'm going to start with this particular photograph right here. You have a pointer up there to your right on the railing. This is People's 96A. Do you recognize this area?
Yes.
Tell us what. Let me do this, the laser pointer, speed up the process here, walk you through this. We have already heard the testimony from another witness. Just to orient you with this particular photograph, this particular area, is this kind of a marshland or mudland that you're referring to?
Yes.
And the area where the house is at, you had to climb through, that was somewhere up here?
Right, above that area there.
Let me show you closer up. Picture 96B gives you a little bit more of an orientation as to where the houses were at. So again, this would be the particular flat land over here. In this particular area, the beach along there, the rock wall that separates that kind of flat. And do you recall which of these houses it was that you had to go through the back fence?
If I had to choose, it would probably be the row of houses. I mean, probably use the laser pointer.
Let you have the laser pointer.
Probably about the set of houses right there that we had to come through. Which one I don't remember. Quite remember the address right there.
Now, just to orient everyone, are you familiar with this particular area? Have you ever been out there before?
Oh, most definitely.
And you're aware of the bike path that kind of goes behind the houses?
Most definitely.
So you had to go, you left the houses, you came out of the back of the house, out to the backyard, across the bike path, and you're saying it was kind of a long walk down there.
Yes, and just to clarify, we have got an actual address. So the reason we pulled up in front of the house or to the house was that came in as the actual address, not so much of the shoreline. So when we got to the house, as we met up with the owner and Mike, they said that the actual body was actually in the marshland. So just for clarification, so you know, that's why we pulled up in front of that particular house. Otherwise, if it had come in as on the shoreline, given the proper directions, we would have went to another area to assess it. So just for clarification.
Let me show you what's been marked as next as 96C. And again, a witness has already described this as being that rock wall corner. Some of the individuals that were down there, do you recall while they were out there that a helicopter came out and was taking some photographs?
I vaguely remember a helicopter, but I don't know if it was for my call or not. We get helicopters that come in and out of Richmond all the time. And so if that particular helicopter being over the top of us, that I vaguely remember. I wouldn't know if it was for us or being used for the police department or not.
Let's mark, looks like 96D, and let me actually show you this close up because I want you to look at something. You're talking about someone, your personnel, this individual right here with this red bag.
Correct.
You're talking about your personnel. You came out there thinking there might be some kind of medical rescue involved in this.
Yes.
Took equipment with you.
Yes.
Does that look like one of your personnel carrying a bag?
Yes, that would be the bag that we carry on all of our fire engines in the city of Richmond.
Let me go up ahead and put that up so that we can, being the boss as you described it, it would be, would you be the individual that had to carry that bag the long distance that you're talking about?
Negative. As a fire captain, my job is to oversee and make sure that my firefighters, one, if we're on medical emergency, do CPR, get pulse, blood pressures, et cetera, et cetera. And by me having an extra person, 4 people, my job was basically that day just to observe.
So when you get there, you said that his name was Mike, the individual that takes you to where the body's at. Do you recognize in these photographs that the approximate location where you were directed to and that's one of your personnel standing around there?
Yes.
So Mr. Luby takes you out to the location and he shows you this. Did you recognize it as a body right away?
Yes, I did.
Recognize that as a baby of some kind?
Yes.
You talked about there was some confusion about the call that came in and you are taking your equipment out there to do maybe some rescue effort. From what you saw, that baby, was it fairly clear there was not going to be any medical rescue?
Absolutely, yes.
Did you make a determination at that point in time about that baby?
Yes, once I investigated the area and saw the baby or saw the patient, victim in question, based on looking at it, I determined that it was what we call a DOA and called for RPD or Richmond PD.
It was obvious to you that this baby was not living at that time.
Yes.
You indicated that you called Richmond RPD. Is that Richmond Police Department?
Richmond Police Department.
Is that kind of a standard practice when a body is found to notify them?
Yes, practice for the fire department is once we get on scene and we determine that our patient is DOA, that we clear the scene and preserve the scene until PD gets there.
You say clear the scene and preserve the scene. Let me go through that. What does clear the scene?
Clear the scene. We have people, there are family members, what have you. We will take them to another room, cordon off the area until PD gets there and does their investigation. Where in this case here, being just us and the guy that brought us out there, was to just keep the area clear and wait for RPD to come out and do their investigation.
At some point in time, after you made notification to the Richmond Police Department, Does some officer come out there?
Yes.
Was it one or more than one officer?
I believe it was one or more. It was 2 or 3 officers that came out.
Did you, as you were describing, secure this location until they got there?
Right.
Did you kind of turn it over to them and then let them conduct their investigation at that time?
Yes, it's part of our protocol. We can't just walk away and just leave it. So we have to turn it over to law enforcement.
And from your experience being there, what you did and controlled was the condition of the baby in the same condition as when you first got there, when the Richmond Police Department responded?
Absolutely, yes.
People have no further questions. This is The Cross by Mark Gergos. I asked you when we took a break if you had a report in connection with this.
Yes.
You were able to locate it over the lunch hour?
Yes, I had it faxed.
Did you review the report?
Yes.
And basically, I'll walk up and I'll show it to you, just so it makes it a little quicker, that, you've got it in front of you. So you arrived at the location at approximately what time?
About 16:49 hours.
4:49.
Correct.
You were dispatched to the location at what time?
I'm sorry, I think we were dispatched at 16:49 and we arrived at 16:53, I believe.
I show it's on here, says alarm date 16:49. So that's when somebody got a dispatch gets a call, right?
Right.
So that's 4:49 in the afternoon.
Correct.
4:43 you arrived, correct? 4:53,
Correct.
sorry. You arrived, looked like I show you an entry, 52 Seabreeze. Does that refresh your recollection as where you went?
Yes, sir.
52 Seabreeze is one of those houses that you pointed out to the jury this morning.
Yes.
So you go to the 52 Seabreeze, then you go to the location where the baby is found, correct?
Yes.
When you go down there, you said it was kind of a hike.
Yes.
About a quarter of a mile. You get there, and if I understand correctly, you see the baby, correct?
Yes.
Okay, you determine that the baby, you call it, is DOA, correct?
Correct.
Which means you determine it's not going to respond to any medical aid because the baby is dead.
Yes.
Okay, you make a guess or a determination that this baby is somewhere in the neighborhood of 6 months to a year is your guess.
Yes.
At that point, you clear the vicinity, I assume, and when you get there, you were either the first police or anybody who responded to the scene, correct?
Can you repeat that again?
There wasn't any other, this is an area, I guess it's close to East Bay Regional, correct?
Yes.
Close to the Richmond Police Department, their jurisdiction.
Yes, kind of on the borderline between East Bay Regional Park and Richmond PD.
Okay, when you get there, are you the first person of some official status?
Yes, I am.
That arrives. Okay, so when you were there to determine, you make a quick determination that obviously any kind of medical aid is going to be futile at that point because the baby has passed away.
Correct.
You determine that you're not going to want anybody getting near it, either animals or humans, correct?
Yes.
And you set up a perimeter of some kind to keep the people away, right?
Right.
And then approximately how long before the police show up?
I would say anywhere from 20 to 25 minutes.
Okay, when they show up, is that the end of the end of your participation?
The end of my what?
Your participation.
Yes.
It shows here that it says last unit cleared at 17:23. Is that fairly accurate as when you left?
Yes, but just for clarification, I may have went available on radio. So she would lock that in the computer at that particular time. But we might have stayed on scene a few more minutes later.
Roughly, you're out of there by 5:25, 5:30 the latest.
Correct.
And you arrived there about 4:50 at the earliest, correct?
Correct, yes.
So your total involvement is about a half an hour, 40 minutes.
Yes.
I have no further questions.
Any other questions for the captain?
No questions.
May the witness be excused.
No objection.
Thank you, Captain.
You're welcome, Your Honor.
Okay, the next is Todd Opdyke, police officer. Okay. A little longer. Okay. So first, the direct examination by David Harris. Can you tell us what your occupation is?
Hold on one second, please. I can't, trying to get up there. Police officer, City of Richmond,
Okay. How long have you been employed by the city of Richmond?
26 years.
For the entire 26 years, have you been a police officer for Richmond?
Yes,
I want to direct your attention back to April 13th, 2003, when you were working in your capacity. Were you working in your capacity as a police officer?
yes,
At some point in time, were you dispatched to go to some place that the fire department was calling you out to?
yes.
Do you remember where it was that you went?
It was a shoreline just outside of a gated community called the Breakers.
And is that address that kind of around that area Bayside Court?
That's generally in the vicinity, yes. Bayside Court.
Okay, when you were called out there, did you go out there and actually meet with somebody from the fire department?
Yes,
The gentleman that just left, Captain Newman, did you happen to meet him there that same day?
yes.
And when you went out there to meet Captain Newman, did he take you to the location where a body was at?
Actually, he was standing out near the body and I spotted him. It was quite a distance and I walked out to him.
You walked out that distance to him?
Yes,
Did he point something out to you?
yes,
And was that a body?
yes.
Tell us what happens when it kind of transitions from the fire department personnel being out there to the Richmond police being out there.
Well, the first thing we normally do is seal the scene, and for preservation purposes, evidence purposes, and contact and identify any witnesses. Check the area for any witnesses or any further evidence.
Now, this particular location where the body was at, is this kind of a marshy field, a mud flats kind of area?
Yes, it is.
I'm going to show you some photographs and we'll also look at them, have them mark some of the blow-ups behind you, start with 96A, B, C, and D. Give you a chance to look at those while that's happening. Judge, can we have them marked as people's next in order? The next three separate numbers of blow-up photographs on two boards by an A and B designation, and then a third board is one blow-up photograph.
Okay, let's mark it 97. And that has what, two photographs, A and B?
Yes. I don't understand. The board that's up there is what?
That will be number 97. The top photograph is A. The bottom photograph is B.
Those are not replications of previously marked exhibits.
My understanding, they are blow-ups.
I don't think that they are. I know there are blow-ups. I don't disagree with that. I was trying to determine whether or not they've already been marked as other exhibits.
I think we have those photographs already marked, don't we, Mr. Harris?
We do have some of them. 96B, for the record, is a blow-up, and I believe what is 96A.
Okay,
But it now has also the designations of locations on there.
all right.
And 96A would be 97. Right, 97B, I understand is a blow-up of 96A, but what about 97A? That has not been marked yet. That's what I mean. I would appreciate if I get these shown to me before they're put up there so I can keep up.
97A is a blow-up of the area.
These were. I believe all of these were in the small photographs that were shown to council other than the markings on them.
Okay,
98
98 is
is another blow-up starting with A.
98A and B.
98A is a blow-up with the marking of the exhibit that the witnesses have been describing in 96B.
Okay, and 98B is what?
And 98B is the one that we've not gotten to yet.
Okay,
And then 99
99 is,
is a slightly different blow up of another aerial depicting two sides that we've not had a witness talk about yet.
okay.
We'll mark that and I'll stick it on the board. Officer, now, have you had a chance to look at those photographs in front of you?
Yes, I have.
Do you recognize what's depicted in those?
Yes.
I want to talk to you specifically about 96 and 96A. If you tell you what, I'll move this so we can see it, see it at the same time.
You want to hand the witness the pointer, please?
I tell you what, I will give you that poker, the marker, and I will take back these others. I'm going to put it on the screen again, the exhibit you were looking at, 96A. Do you recognize that? Is that an overall view? Mr. Opdyke? Officer Opdyke? Is that an
That's
overall view?
That's a distant general view of the area where we found the body.
Okay, just so we're pointing this out, up here in the left-hand corner of the photograph, 96A, is this the marsh, mud, flat land that we were just talking about?
Yes. Just to the right of the beach area there.
And that particular photograph is depicted up there as 99.
Yes.
So the blow-up of 99 is marked?
I
I
thought the
thought
blow-up
the blow-up of 96A was 96B. Well, from looking at it, comparing them now, that was mistaken. I was mistaken. 96A is the blow-up of 99, or 99 is the blow-up of 96A. Going to 96B, you're looking behind you and pointing to 98A. Officer Updike?
Yeah. Yes.
Right, so 90 again for the record, 96B is the small photograph that's now been blown up and put on the board there. It's marked at 96A, that's directly behind you.
Yes.
And on 96A, there's a label underneath that, the flatland area depicted in the photograph which says Connor's Recovery Site.
Yes.
If I can get you to turn around, we'll look at this right here, 96C, and you're telling us to this location, describing for us where you walked out to Captain Newman, where he was at, and observed a body that was up there. Do you see? I'll use a pointer to point it out on the photograph. Individuals that are standing there at this location?
I do.
Is that the general area where it was that you met with the captain and you were looking at a body?
Yes.
Showing 96E. Does this show a slightly different view of the generalized location that we're referring to where you've met with the fire department?
It appears to be the same area, just a closer view.
All right.
Different angle.
I want to go back through this, having in mind the general areas that you were talking about, the generalized overview and the more close-up photographs at this particular location. You were telling us that you secured the scene and you kind of preserved it for evidence. When you were securing the scene, do you make sure people don't come and go?
I do.
I think you're, once we establish.
Once we establish the crime area, we seal it off from any pedestrian or, in some cases, vehicular traffic, but any people.
Now, when you, on this particular date and time, went out there, did you meet up with someone or did someone point out to you a civilian named Michael Luby?
Yes.
Did you talk with Mr. Luby?
Yes, I did.
Did you take a statement from Mr. Luby about what happened and what he discovered?
Yes.
After getting his particular statement, did you try to process the scene or look around the scene?
Well, my job was not to process the scene. It was to help secure it, keep it from being contaminated. But I do look around for any further evidence.
Okay, well, let's ask about when you say it wasn't your duty, it wasn't your job, are there divisions of labor within a police department?
Well,
Are you having a hard time, Mr. Officer Updike?
I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
Okay. Take your time.
Yes.
And what kind of division or what kind of assignment did you have on that particular day?
Well, that particular day area is my beat area. I'm responsible for enforcement and calls for service in that geographic area. Whenever we come across any crime scenes, we secure it and we call in evidence technicians to come in, and their job is the collection and preservation.
Now, on this particular date, as the beat officer, did you follow your procedure and call in an evidence technician?
Yes.
Who is that you called in?
Well, the evidence technician on duty at that time was Officer Guard.
You say officer is with Richmond and there are evidence technicians, other police officers?
Yes, they're sworn officers.
So Officer Guard, was he assigned to that particular area?
No, he's assigned to, at that time, he was assigned to my patrol team. And they're not assigned or assigned solely to one exclusive area. They travel the city wherever they are, wherever there are crime scenes for processing.
When you called him, did he eventually come out?
Yes.
Did you preserve the crime scene as you it was turned over to you from Captain Newman until Officer Guard got there?
Yes, Officer Guard arrived just moments behind me.
Now, you say you were looking for other evidence. Can you tell us what it was that you did?
Well, other than looking in the immediate area, I walked the pathway area. At times that area is covered with water, and at low tide it's not. And oftentimes people will walk around that area. So I walked looking for any other type of evidence. I stood up on the breaker, the rocks, large rocks, looked into the water, just walked for several yards around this entire scene, looking for anything that I felt could be involved.
Did you find anything?
No.
Okay, now you said that Officer Guard got there shortly after you did. Did he start to, to use the term process the scene?
Yes.
And when we talk about processing, that means photographs, measurements, things of that nature?
Yes, he did.
And did you stay there during the time that he was doing that?
Yes.
About how long, if you recall, did it take him to process the scene?
Well, to give you an overview on a situation like this, Officer Guard is the patrol evidence technician. Whenever we come across a homicide scene or a felony crime scene where the detective bureau is going to be called out, then the detective bureau also has a detective evidence technician assigned to their unit. And as a normal protocol, they call out their evidence technician as well. He has much more equipment. And so our patrol evidence technician usually does preliminary photographs and attempts to identify evidence. And then when the detective bureau evidence technician arrives, they brief each other, or the patrol evidence technician briefs the detective bureau evidence technician, and then they usually work it together. But the detective evidence technician is usually in charge of the crime scene along with the homicide detectives.
So Officer Guard comes out and he's assigned to patrol?
Yes.
Did the detective's ID tech eventually come out?
Yes.
Who is that?
Jeff Solar.
When Detective Solar came out, did he also process the crime scene?
Yes.
How long were you there?
Until the coroner removed the body.
So let's go back in time. Did you, when you were dispatched there, did you make some type of notation or write a report that can help you recall that time?
Yes.
And if you were to look at your report, would that help you remember the specific time that you were dispatched out?
It would. Thank you. I was dispatched on the 13th at 4:52 p.m. and I arrived at approximately 5 p.m.
Does it indicate in your report about what time it was that the coroner got there to take over, or the time that you left?
Yes, the coroner arrived at approximately 8:15 p.m. and departed approximately 8:40.
And you were there until the coroner left?
Yes,
Now, the coroner that came out, that would be the sheriff's deputy from Contra Costa County?
that's correct.
And do you recall if that sheriff's deputy's name was Chris Martinez?
I don't recall the name of the coroner. I referenced their case number.
But you do recall that it was a sheriff's deputy from the coroner's office that came out.
Yes, the identification officer.
Now, when you're talking about looking about around this area, you could see in the photographs up there some things, and one of these witnesses described stuff as being debris. Did you notice if there was debris in this tidal flat?
There appeared what I felt was a water line, maybe a high tide water line. There was debris within this water line. Leaves, just articles of substance that appeared to have been washed up with during the high tide.
Did he mention this particular area under high tide is underwater?
Yes.
Completely underwater?
I'm not sure that I've been there at the peak of high tide, but I have seen it underwater at the areas of the breakers where the large rocks are. But I didn't pay that close attention to it prior to this time.
Okay, well, looking at this particular picture up there, 96C, let me just go through this just a little more so we're clear what you're referring to. You're referring to about this break, this big rock wall. This is the area at the top of the photograph that's running left to right.
Yes, those are the large boulders.
Now, if you turn around behind you and use the pointer in 98A, you see the bottom there kind of going from the center of the photograph towards the right.
Can the jury see that? Because it's in the corner. Not really. Maybe you ought to move it out, Mr. Harris.
Move it out from in front of 97.
Put it in the tray.
Hopefully everybody can see that one now. Looking at that one, 98A, the one that's at the top of that particular board there, and we're talking about what we're talking about in 96D, the rock wall. Just use the laser pointer. Is that the rock wall that we're referring to right there?
Yes, it is.
And the area that you're talking about, the floods or goes underwater, is that the brown area that's behind the wall?
Correct.
Now, looking at that photograph there, 98A, where it says Connor's recovery site, do you actually see where there's water that goes under one of those bike paths right through here?
Yes.
Now, when you do, you were out there, did you take any photographs yourself?
No, I did not.
That would have been the responsibility of Officer Guard.
And solar, yes.
Detective Solar?
Yes.
When you were telling us about the deputy coroner coming out there, that would be almost 3-something hours after you had been there, and you got there approximately 5 o'clock?
Correct. Approximately just over 3 hours.
By that time that the coroner was leaving, had it gotten dark?
It had.
When you were there, was it daylight?
Yes.
You could see everything without the use of either flashlights or flash equipment for cameras?
Yes.
The body that you're referring to that you saw that particular day, that's the same body that the deputy coroner picked up?
Yes.
And you kept it
It is.
And you kept it in a preserved condition as you kept people away from it until they got there.
It was not touched.
The people have no further questions. Crossed by Mark Gerges. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon, sir.
When you arrived there, you said you were there, you got there around 5 o'clock.
Approximately, yes.
And when you arrived there, you hooked up with Captain Newman and 2 other of these Mr. Luby and a woman by the name of Bollinger.
Yes.
And is it fair to say that the Richmond paramedic unit came up basically right behind you?
Yes.
And then you, the first person who contacted, the first person you contacted was Captain Newman, who was just here.
It was.
Then after you talked to him, you talked to Luby and Bollinger.
Yes.
Did you interview them separately or together?
Separately.
Okay, when you talked to Luby at the time, did he tell you that his dog had come across something in the grass and had started to sniff?
Yes.
Did he tell you that after this is when he and Bollinger had noticed it was a human infant?
Correct.
Okay, and after they had noticed that it was a human infant, they walked to the nearby housing project.
Yes.
Housing development, I guess. It's up there on 98A.
Yes, it is.
Is that correct?
Yes.
Now, the area that you met them in, and at some point they took you, there was a kind of bike path, correct?
There is a bike path.
And at this area, we've got up here, there's, there's some other pictures. I think they're a little bit better. They look familiar to you, this area.
Yes.
All right, I'm going to put them up there just one at a time and ask questions.
What are you?
I'm referring to...
I just want to, officer with the rock wall, is the bay at the top of the picture?
Yes, sir, it is.
Okay.
This is WW2, so you walk down to this area, is that correct?
Yes, I did.
Okay, now when we talk about these breakers in the rocks, that is what we're talking about, where I'm pointing, correct?
That's correct.
Okay, and then the bike path is somewhere you can't see it from here, but you walk off the bike path and you walk down to this area, correct?
Well, the bicycle path is several hundred yards away.
Right, you had to, when Luby took you, or when Captain Newman took you, you were on the bike path. You had met them over by the housing area, correct?
I think I met with Newman along the beach area, and then, because I spotted them upon my arrival, and he spotted me.
Somewhere in here?
Actually, I walked along this beach and met the fire captain. I believe somewhere in this area on the beach. He was standing out there. He saw me apparently when I was on the paved path. He walked towards me, I walked towards him, and then we both walked out towards the scene.
Okay, can you point out on 98A what it is or exactly what we're looking at, the WW2?
Generally, this area right in here.
Can we just mark that with a pen?
How do you want me to mark it?
Just with a little circle.
Want me to mark it 0, 1 or something?
That's the judge, sir.
Want to mark it 0, 1 or something?
Yeah.
Officer, just draw a circle around that general area
Okay.
and draw a line out to the white part of the diagram and mark that 0, 1.
0, 1?
Right. For your last name, Updike, right?
Opdyke.
These other pictures that I've looked, there appears to be a picture that's looking out towards another witness, said the postal facility there.
Boat Mail Center, yes.
This got one just looking straight out on WW1. I assume you saw it when they put a little flag in there.
Yes.
That's to mark where the baby was.
Yes, sir.
Okay, this is a view that would be at least from 98A, something along the lines of the direction that where I've got my pen.
Generally, yes.
Okay, then the next view, just so that we can get a full picture of what it actually looks like, it's a view of now looking in this direction.
Correct.
And generally, and that is the area that you say sometimes there's water on here. Is that correct?
Yes.
Okay, now you were there for a period of 3 hours that day, at least, almost 4.
Yes, sir.
Okay, what time is high tide?
I don't have a clue.
During the time you were there, was there ever any water that came up?
No, sir.
Okay, the 96E would then be another shot of the slightly turning more towards the other direction, correct?
about opposite what you showed.
Opposite of the last one I just showed you.
Yes,
Looking in this direction, correct?
yes,
So basically, when you laid these down, you got a panoramic of the photos of exactly what this area looks like and the view of the bay, correct?
correct.
Okay, now when you found the baby and I've got what's marked as double V, is that roughly what the area looked like? Although I know it appears at least that this was taken at night.
That's roughly what the area looks like, yes.
Okay, and then when we're talking about the leaves in the foreground here, that's what you're talking about.
Yeah, those are leaves. It's hard to get a perspective on this close shot for me, but this is the debris that I was talking about. That appears to be the debris that was referenced.
Okay, and I assume that's the baby. That's kind of in the
Yes,
high grass that's over there.
yes.
Okay, now then when you got there, you examined the baby. Is that correct?
I don't believe I examined the baby.
Examined in that you made observations and wrote in your report.
Yeah, I kept a bit of a distance, but
You determined the baby was lying on its back, correct?
yes,
The head partially tilted upward.
yes,
Top of the head is generally a southwesterly direction.
correct.
Okay, the left arm was attached, but the right arm appeared to you to have a gash in it.
Yeah, at that particular time, from my view, and I kept a distance, it appeared like it was either severed or dislodged in some way.
Okay, now then, you looked at the head of the infant, correct?
Yes, I did.
And you made a notation that the head of the infant was intact, and from what you could see, it was in relatively good shape. Is that correct?
Relative, yes.
And this, you estimated the distance that where the baby was found, I assume from over here to over here is about 25 feet. Is that correct?
That's what my notation shows, yes, sir.
Okay, is that to the best as you know?
Yes,
Fairly accurate.
yes.
Okay, now the area that you searched looking for any kind of evidence, how far in the direction did you go?
Well, I walked, if we're looking at this photograph that's on the screen now, that's looking generally east or southeasterly.
And that's 96E.
I walked all the way to the end along the breakers, along the rocks, the boulders. I came back the opposite direction and went just about to the end on the west.
Okay, could we maybe on 98? Would it be easier to show on 98?
Sure.
The area where you actually walked. Could you show that to the jury?
I walked from the area of the immediate scene here to the end over here, back this way, along the rocks, all the way over to the western edge, I would say, and along the breakers this way. And I actually stood up on the breakers here, looked on the rocks themselves, and then looked into the water.
And you say you stood up on the breakers in that picture that we've got there on 96A. I assume you're talking about on these rocks right here.
Yes,
So you stood up there, you looked down, see if you could see anything that appeared in any way to be connected with the baby or the discovery of the baby.
yes, I walked along the rocks a little bit and looked into the water.
Did you notice when you saw the baby what appeared to be some either tape or twine around the baby's neck?
I noticed there was debris, a substance, a tape-like substance, or
Twine?
well, it could have been.
Is it fair to say that your main concern was to keep the area clear at that point of other people?
Yes,
Okay, it's fair to say you were not concerned with, I think Mr. Harris said, processing the scene.
that's correct.
Okay, the people who process those scenes are the ones who are going to make or take the photographs and make the observations and then,
Measurements.
in terms of collecting the evidence.
Yes, sir.
Okay, now when you were there, did you see or how was it that the baby's body and the items that were surrounding it were transported? I mean, did they lay out a towel of some kind, put the surrounding items on it?
The best of my recollection at this point in time is the coroner provided the material to collect the body.
Okay, when you say the coroner provided the material, is that a, as far as you know, a standard kit or a kit that includes a coroner's blanket and a towel and evidence collection?
I don't actually know if it's a kit that they have, but it's material that they carry and collect bodies with.
And that includes, when you say material, that includes a towel or a blanket, for lack of a better term.
For lack of a better term.
Okay, that's what the body or the remains get put in that and transported so that the best as you can, you're taking all the items that are there with the baby on the surrounding the baby and then transported it to the coroner so that the detectives and the coroner can examine that, the evidence, and do whatever test they have to do. Is that correct? Is that your understanding of what goes on?
Yes.
Now, in addition, and that you said, is it my understanding that this location where the baby was found is a couple of 100 yards away from the path that's there?
Yes, there's an asphalt type or paved path.
Can you point that to the jury where the path is on 98A?
Yes.
Okay, now that path, is that frequented by bicyclists, joggers, and walkers?
It is. It's heavily traveled.
Okay, and that's used by the general public, is that correct?
It is. It's a public shoreline.
Okay, now you made a notation of the weather conditions on that day, is that correct?
I did.
And you noted that the skies were partly cloudy with a periodic rain, is that correct?
Correct.
Does that area have a situation where sometimes it may rain on one side of the bay, but not the other side?
At times, that's correct.
Okay, and that's something that's quite common there.
Yes.
Okay, does the weather vary all over that bay, the specific bay area there, in terms of colder in one spot, raining in one spot, and not in another? Objection. Foundation as to weather expertise.
Sustained.
Was it raining? Did it rain on that evening?
Very lightly during the time that I was out there.
What time did you actually leave?
Referring to my report, Judge.
Sure.
Yeah, go ahead.
Just right after the coroner at 8:40 p.m.
Okay, just to be sure, there was no water surrounding this area here that we're looking at 96E at that point.
Well, there's water surrounding it.
I mean, in the whole area that we've got right here, that's in the picture. Was this becoming underwater at the point that you left at 8:40?
No more so than it is at that particular time.
Does that picture adequately represent what the area looked like on the day when you arrived?
Yes.
And does that picture adequately represent what it looked like when you left?
Yes.
Except I suppose it was not quite that light out.
Correct.
Now, when you were there, did a a gentleman by the name of Villalobos, show up?
Detective Villalobos?
Yes, who is he?
A homicide detective.
Who does he work for?
City of Richmond Police Department.
Same agency as yours?
Yes.
Okay, when he was there, did you meet with him?
Yes.
And you explained to him what you found?
Yes.
And, okay, and he was called out, I assume, because it looked obviously that there was a suspicious circumstance as you finding a baby laying dead there on arrival like that on the inside of the shoreline, correct?
Yes.
Okay, and Detective Villalobos was briefed by you as to what you had seen prior to him getting there.
And I briefed him as to what I observed.
Basically, you told him what you testified to this jury about today.
Yes.
Okay, and did he take, when he came in, was he the person who pretty much took over the scene at that point? Was he in charge, so to speak?
Well, he's in charge. He would be the detective in charge of the homicide case.
And the two other gentlemen that the prosecutor mentioned, God, I believe, and Sola.
Yes.
God's role was to come and take pictures, kind of evidence technician, right?
He was the patrol evidence technician. He conducted the preliminary evidence work.
And this Sola, who was he? What was he doing there? And solar. Officer Updike, what was he doing?
He's the Detective Bureau evidence technician. And he arrives, is briefed by the patrol evidence technician, and continues and completes the evidence work, the scene evidence work.
So if I've got it right, guard and solar are basically processing the scene. You were there to make sure that everything that they is not interfered with. And Bill Lobos gets there, and Bill Lobos is basically in charge of the homicide investigation.
Yes, add in the evidence technician's work along with the detectives as well.
The detective gives them directions in terms of what he wants to see and what he wants documented in addition to what they may normally do.
Absolutely, yes.
Okay, and that's because he's the one who is in charge of this investigation.
Yes, sir.
Thank you. I have no further questions. Redirect by David Harris. All right, sir, if I could have another photograph mark. Council's already seen it.
Next in order would be 100.
Officer, I'm going to present you with what's already been marked as people's number 100. I'm going to ask you to look at this. Is that particular photograph, do you see a blue roof or a blue building of the postal facility here?
Yes.
And is that a photograph that was taken from the approximate location that's depicted in 98A, that's up on the board, kind of looking towards the postal facility?
A little different, but it does depict approximately that same area.
Now, is there a difference between the photograph that you have there, People's 100, and what's up there in 96E?
Let me take this from you and wait, no. There is, yes, there is a difference.
What's the difference?
There's quite a bit of water covering the area that we're looking at in 96E.
Let me take that from you. Put it up on the screen. Does this appear to show the area that we've been talking about when it's at high tide? There would be an objection. He already testified. There's no foundation for that.
Well, he can leave out high tide.
Does this appear to depict the location we've been talking about when it's pretty much underwater?
Yes.
Now, when you were asked about your report, I want to cover a couple of additional things in your report. You were asked about the description of the infant, and did you describe the body as being damaged and decomposed?
Yes.
You were also being asked to point out in these photographs the kind of high tide or high water mark. Do you see that in this report?
I described it a water line.
And where did you describe the baby as being located?
Within the water line.
Now, just so we're clear about this general location that we're looking at, if you could turn around and look at 98A, you were telling us that there was a path up there, and I'll use the laser pointer kind of help out if I can try and be steady here. Now, this path that you're talking about goes right up to the front of the houses like this, goes around a bicycle bridge, and goes on off the right of the picture.
Well, that path actually lies on where the bridge is on the top right. The path does continue this direction, but it also wraps around and continues along the homes toward Bayside Drive.
Now, this path that we're talking about, this is primarily for bicyclists, joggers, people to use.
The general public, yes.
It's posted non-motorized, non-vehicle kind of path.
Yes.
In fact, in any of the places where this comes out onto the street, are there either concrete or metal barriers to objection leading?
Overruled.
Yes.
So if you're a city employee, you can pull one of those up and drive out the path if you have the key.
If you have a key to unlock it.
Now, on this particular day, did you see anybody drive any vehicles down to the area where the body was recovered?
There were no vehicles driven down there.
You were asked about Detective Villalobos when he came out. Is it standard practice within your department that individuals in patrol, such as yourself, when a detective comes out to the location to brief them and tell them the information that you have?
Absolutely.
And for the detectives to do what they want with the information that you give them?
Yes.
Are there usually more, I don't want to say more experience, but they have a different function than patrol?
That would be accurate, a different function.
The people have no further questions.
Mr. Garagos, any other questions?
No questions.
May Officer Updike be excused?
No objection. No objection.
You're excused, Officer Updike.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Okay, so there is one exhibit that we see here. I'll put it over there. It's the photo of the high tide, it says. And they said there's no high tide. Okay, and then let's see. How much? One, two, what time is it? You want to stop there?
Whatever y'all want to do.
What do you guys want to do? Do you want to stop there and open up the panel, or do you want to, what is it, what is chat? I'm going to look at the chat. Do you want to open the panel now and stop there?
Yeah.
Yeah, let's do it.
Yeah.
I feel a little sleepy reading that stuff.
Yeah.
It's me to sleep sometimes. It's like reading in bed. Okay. Okay, I'll put the number.
Okay, lads.
Does she have school tomorrow?
No, they're off.
Oh, yeah.
President's Day.
Right.
I'm just telling her.
Oh, she can have her thing back.
She can have her Chromebook. Whoa. Okay. Yeah.
Oh, Carol Plant did the little girl.
What?
Carol Plant did the little girl diamond painting that we did. Well, that you finished it. I didn't finish it. Hold on a second.
Aw.
Hold on. I gotta get the picture. Open. White.
Well,
Okay.
that's just as cute as I can be.
I'm getting it. Here we are. Here's the
Goodness
picture.
gracious. I'll be right back. I need to go get some ice.
That's very nice. So you trimmed everything off. Good job, Carol Plant. Good job. Good job, Carol. Okay. And
Eh. I got it. Can't get that to stand up. Good. Yeah.
okay, so the numbers in the crafts. Don't be shy. You enjoyed doing it, Carol? Hi, Veronica. Take these out of my mouth for a second, these things. Be crazy for a second.
Davita coming up.
Hi, Alma.
Davita, where are you?
Hi, Love and Coco.
Gotta be her.
Hello.
Hello, my funny Valentine.
Hello, Davita.
Hi, Nana Patty. How you feeling?
I'm feeling good.
Good. I see you very close.
Hmm?
I see you very close right now.
I'm really close.
Uh-huh.
Oh, I'm sorry.
No, that's not bad. I mean, I feel like we're really talking.
I was gonna go walk in a minute and see how much snow we've gotten.
You're getting a lot of snow?
Not much.
Well, we got some today, but I don't know how much we've gotten tonight. I was gonna go peek my head out the door with the camera.
Be careful.
Oh, I'm not going outside. I'm just gonna peek my head out the door.
All right. Hi, Scooter. How you feeling?
I'm feeling fine.
Carolyn, how was your dinner?
Good, very good.
Chat, how's everybody?
Okay,
Are you
dinner.
eating a brownie?
Mm-mm. I was eating a turtle.
That's what I'm eating.
Are you really?
I'm not.
Yes.
Is that the candy you got?
Yes.
Did you get Fannie Mayer?
No.
Where's Dave? Scooter. Scarlett. Where's Red? Can no one hear me?
Oh, I see. I was trying to look for Jeanette's email. I don't see your email yet, Jeanette. Red is there.
Oh, good. I'm sure they had a little fiddle-a-dee.
What?
I knew that would wake her up. Fiddle-a-dee, Brett. Oh, Red. Oh, whoa, whoa, whoa. Look at those green eyes.
Did you know that did you bid on those trolls that were in that auction in Illinois this weekend?
No, because they didn't have pickup. I mean, it was only pickup, remember?
No, the other auction.
Oh, I didn't see it.
You didn't?
No.
I'm gonna see what they went for.
Scooter, Scarlett, Danielle. Hey, Alma, my boo.
Whoa, whoa, whoa. I already know what kind of day they had.
Hi, wake up.
She's chipper.
Wake up before you go. Okay. Let's see.
Hi, Clover Crow and Sully.
Good night, Sally, Clover Clow,
Not that much snow.
And Love and Coco.
Loving Coco.
Hi, ladies. It's Kathy Kettleson.
Oh,
Hi,
hi,
Kathy.
Kathy.
Hello.
I forgot you came in. Sorry.
That's okay. I was just
Why
kind of
what?
waiting for the conversation to die a little.
You having snow in your area too?
Oh, heavens. It didn't get above 3 degrees today.
Hey, you're right. You've got to be some kind of close to me.
I am.
We were up to 6.
Wow.
I know, heat wave. Right now, though, I think we're down to, oh goodness. I'm gonna check right.
Yeah, I'll check too. I think it's like 8 below here.
Oh, wow, you're a lot colder. We're at 4 degrees.
Oh,
But you're 8 below, huh?
I believe. I'm looking. Oh. 7
Are
below.
you in Michigan? No, you're not in Michigan, are you?
Central Illinois.
Oh, okay, that's right.
Come on, Scooter.
Come on, go buy champagne.
That's right, that's right.
University of Illinois. I just read
Okay.
that Meghan and Harry are pregnant again.
Are they really?
Yeah.
Are they? How far along? 'Cause she had a miscarriage before, didn't she?
Right, I believe in July. It doesn't say when they're due, or I didn't see where they said. They're just delighted. Charles is. Charles is delighted.
How come you sound kind of miffed about it?
I don't know why he's miffed. He is just not the touchy-feely type of grandpa, I guess. Oops, I lost you, didn't I? Oh, crap. Oh, crap, I lost you. I'm back.
Yeah, you're here.
I had a out-of-body experience there for a moment.
No, I said, how come you sound like you're miffed about being pregnant?
Well, I was just, oh, it's a long story. Chuck and Dee Dee were my best friends growing up, Charles and Diane. And when they got divorced, well, all hell broke loose. And I've just been really upset ever since. That's all.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I heard, from what I've read that actually he's a real proud grandfather.
That's what I read too. And I was really kind of surprised, but I'm really glad. I think he really stepped up being a good father too after Diana passed. It seems like.
Yeah. Did I, Karen Lynn? Sorry, your husband woke up.
You woke her husband up?
Way to go.
Is that what she said?
Yeah, she said she was laughing so hard. I don't know why. I guess because of the.
Do you want to know the one I was laughing at today?
Oh, yeah, I want to know. That's right, I do. Which
Oh my
one?
gosh. Scooter was on. It was you, Scooter, and Lisa D. And you were talking about when you were in school and how that guy touched her and her dad went down
Oh,
to
yeah.
the place.
Yeah,
And he went into the kitchen and said he was going to put his head in the fryer.
the deep fryer, yeah.
I'm telling you, I was crying. I was laughing so hard. I mean, I couldn't stop laughing. It just hit me so funny. Oh, that was funny. It's just her expressions, when
Right,
she's
yeah.
talking about stuff, and your the way that you'll play off of it.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my gosh, I was cracking up. And then Gary, when he let her out, and then she banged on the car.
Oh, the German
Wasn't
people?
even him.
Yeah.
It was hysterical. Oh, that was funny. I needed that laugh too.
You had such a nice premiere today.
Oh, thank you. It's the first time I ever tried one.
Yeah, I missed it.
I know.
I missed everything today because I was cleaning like a rage clean.
But don't you feel good now that you've cleaned?
Yes.
Well, we just exchanged cards and gave me a box of candy. Didn't get flowers this year. That's fine. He said he didn't want to stay in the store that long because of everything going on.
Bless his heart.
It was cute. He was so serious about it too.
Well, this cold, they probably would have died on the way home anyway.
Oh,
It
and he
was
told me
cool.
he actually got the card 2 weeks ago. It was cute.
I got married on New Year's Eve at midnight because I was young and I could still stay up that late. And my flowers died on the way to the church because it was so cold.
Oh,
I
Oh,
know.
wow.
That was kind of a silly thing to do anyway, but I was young.
That's right. That's right.
Yes, by goodness gracious. So get married at midnight on New Year's Eve.
That's nice.
It was. It was.
Ooh, that looks so pretty, Nana Patty.
oh, it does.
I don't see Nana Patty.
Thank you. I'm here.
Oh,
I'm just right here.
that's beautiful.
Thank you.
Hi, Sam with a plan.
Sam with a plan?
Yeah, stay-at-home mom with a plan, I
Oh,
guess.
there you go. To Jeanette. Finally, finally.
Hope you had a nice Valentine's. Hi, Love and Coco.
I love you.
Michelle Beachley.
Prosecutor, did you know Scoots has been playing games during the
Is
trial?
Rose still in here?
No. I thought she lost her place a couple of times.
Hi, Moo, if you're in here.
She was in here. She was in the earlier one, too.
Hi, Lorianne.
You got 6 to 8 inches, Carol Boyce? Carol Boyce, Carol Boyce. The doll's going to go out
Lorianne
and play.
said she had a rough day. Today was a rough day. I found out my daughter-in-law has tested positive for the ickies. And she has 3 of my grandbabies. And today is my daddy's birthday. And I spent a few hours at the cemetery.
Oh, sorry to hear that,
Sorry,
Lorianne.
Lorianne.
Yeah.
It's rough. Sorry, Lorianne. We'll pray for your daughter and
Yeah, prayers for your daughter and grandbabies.
How old are your grandkids?
Hi, Potter. Hi, Pam W.
Pam W. Happy.
Evan won at the casino today, too, he said.
Who? Kevin's
Or
mother?
yesterday.
Kevin?
Oh,
Kevin?
Kevin Orga's mom.
Kevin Leonard's
My
mom.
good
I
son.
think it was today. Yeah, today.
Kevin,
today.
yeah, he took her today.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Well, looky who's here. Hi, Jeanette.
Hi, Jeanette.
Hi, Jeanette.
Hello, Jeanette.
Hello, Jeanette. Can she hear us?
Can you hear us, Jeanette?
Hello,
on mute.
Jeanette. Can you hear us?
Hello.
Hello?
Hello. Yes, I can hear
Hello?
you.
Oh, okay.
Sorry. Hello.
Hello.
Hi.
What's up?
Nothing.
Nothing?
at all.
Did the troll scare you, Jeanette?
No, I'm not scared, but I'm sitting here and hanging out.
Tell us some stories, Jeanette.
No, I don't have any story. Holland is so boring. It's so boring over here.
It's boring?
Yeah, no, nothing new here.
Can't be more boring than Illinois.
Sorry?
She said it can't
It
be more
can't
boring.
than here.
No, but there is no crime over here in Holland. Not
That's a
really.
good
Maybe
thing.
1 or 2 children are missing here, and you have a few murders, and that's all.
Well,
Bless
can't
your
you
heart.
have people start committing more crimes over there? Come on.
No, no.
Shoot, I
Good
probably had
thing.
that in my apartment building this weekend. I'm kidding.
Tell us about your love life then, Jeanette.
Yeah.
You mean Mario?
Yes.
Yeah, what's going on with Mario?
No, I saw him yesterday. Or I spoke with him, but that's all. That's all.
What you spoke with him?
Yes, because of Valentine's Day. Because it's Monday here. So I'm living now in Monday, not on Sunday anymore.
So what?
I spoke him
Nothing.
yesterday because of Valentine's Day.
Oh, did he say Happy Valentine's Day?
No, no. Sorry.
She's laughing.
What did he say?
It will be a shock.
That's a shock.
Yes. He will say that. No. Sorry.
Are you blushing, Jeanette?
No.
I think she is blushing.
No, I'm not. No, but it's very funny. Wait, I have to mute myself.
I didn't know it was going to cause such a.
I don't know what the heck is
Yeah.
going on.
I'm losing it.
I wish I could have that disposition if Mark forgot
Oh
something.
my God, wait. I have to mute myself.
Well, come on, tell us something, Jeanette.
She's
Come
got to
on
say
now.
something. What'd you talk about?
Yeah,
No,
but
not
then
about
it's-
Happy Valentine's Day. No, I'm not his love child. No, but sorry. Okay.
But what did you talk about?
That's a good day, and how he's doing, and he asked me how I was doing. That's all. That's all.
That's it?
Yes.
That's more than I got.
Sorry.
No, I'm living through your love life. I have none, so.
No, he's not my boyfriend.
Oh.
No, he's not my boyfriend. I wish, but
Oh. Do you want us to help you out?
he's an American.
Oh.
He comes from Chicago. He's
Oh,
born
oh.
in New York.
Well, we have people in Chicago who could help you out.
Sorry?
We have people in Chicago that could help you out.
Yeah.
No, but he's now in Holland, in the Netherlands.
Oh, okay. He's in the Netherlands.
So,
Yeah.
yes, but he how do you say that? Lived in Chicago. He's born in New York. Yeah, and I told you he has a Italian father and a Greek mother, and his father doesn't. His father passed away.
I'm only 3 hours from Chicago. Scooter, how far away from Chicago are you?
Oh, about 35 miles.
See? I personally can't
Yeah,
leave my
not-
house, but if I could, I would take the train.
But he told me, Mario told me that if you use the metro, I'm not sure if I'm using the correct word, but if you use the buses and everything, that is very dangerous in Chicago.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Yeah,
Maybe
oh,
it's
yeah.
make
They're very
that, I don't
dangerous.
know.
Yep.
Sorry?
I said there are very dangerous areas
Yeah.
in Chicago.
He
Yeah,
told me that. Yeah, he told me that don't go with to those places.
Why are you going to be going to Chicago?
No, I have been in America. I told you I was in Texas, because I had an aunt and an uncle living over there. But that was many years ago. And sure, I want to visit Chicago. I want to see where he lives.
You might not want to.
Why not?
No.
well, Chicago's got the ickies real bad right at the moment, too.
Yes, okay, but I mean maybe of
Right.
not now,
Right.
but maybe a couple years.
Yeah,
2 or 3 years.
Hey, if there's a will, there's a way.
that's right.
Yes.
Yep.
That's right.
Yep, that's right. What are you looking at, Carolyn?
How do you know I'm looking at something, Davida?
I can tell.
She's shopping.
I'm just window shopping.
Never heard.
Your eyes start going real fast back and forth, and then you start to lose her. Like speed reading.
Kitty look in her eyes, and that auction might just be over. I don't do auction parts. They make me nervous. I do buy it now. And then regret it in the morning.
Yeah.
No, but I said once before, I think Lisa asked me that, do you want to stay in USA? I said no, because you have to start from the beginning, because I don't speak English at all.
You
I
speak-
speak only Dutch in my daily life.
But you're speaking English just fine right now.
No, but if I go to America, let's say I go to America, I go to live there, how can I work at an office? I cannot speak very good English. I have to start over.
Not really. You speak very well.
I
No.
understand everything you're saying.
Yeah.
Yes,
You
but
speak-
it's not like
We have people
Sorry?
over here that can't speak English at all, so.
You
Yeah,
speak
good,
very well, very
Yeah.
well, Jeanette.
yes, but I can discuss more in Dutch, and I can use more difficult words in Dutch. It's like, I feel like I'm at the kindergarten, with my English.
No way. You're way past kindergarten.
Yeah, you speak very well. I don't see
So
why.
it's not easy to stay in America. Maybe, yeah, I told him once, let's say that I'm going to stay in America. What does it mean? That I have to, there's nothing wrong with that, but does it mean that I have to clean houses maybe? I'm here
No.
working at an office.
No, you speak very well. You could get a job in a store or a lot of places.
No.
Stay at Carolyn's and help her organize.
Oh, wait a minute, mommy. You want me to be on Dollar Tree to give
You
you
could
discount?
you could work in the Dollar Tree.
That would work.
That would work.
Every member giving a discount.
Mm-hmm.
That'll work.
Yeah.
Chicago has lots of Dollar Trees, I'm sure.
Yeah. Definitely.
Seriously, I wouldn't let your language be the the decision maker, because honestly, I'm not even saying this to be crude or anything, but your English is very, very good.
Yeah, but my uncle, he is married with my mother's sister, and they stayed in America. They stayed for maybe 2 or 3 years in America, in Texas, and he spoke so good English. He was so perfect, and but he worked in the oil business. So yeah.
You could start doing that Rosetta Stone, and then by the time you got here, you'd be really good.
No, it's not. It's not. It's not easy.
No, but you're speaking very well. I mean, really,
No, no, not really.
You are, Jeanette.
you are.
Scooter's having her troll's kiss.
This will be Jeanette and Mario when they
Yeah.
meet. They're just walking down the street.
He's
Their
With
song
in their belly
here.
button.
And he's like, Jeanette? And she's like, Mario? And Jeanette? Mario? And you know, they do that run. Remember that run in the... Jeanette! Mario!
Do you have do you need to put in your belly button? Because then it'll look really good.
And there they go, happily ever after.
Do, 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 do.
And having baby trolls and
Yes.
Yeah.
Having baby trolls.
trolls babies.
Yes, just a few years later, we go back and visit their home, and what do we see?
12 children.
A little troll on a scooter.
Oh, look at that, the baby.
And the baby's name is Scooter.
Mama, Mama.
Aww. You make beautiful babies. It looks like a handful, though.
Did you ever hear of a doll
Happily
called
ever
Peggy
after.
Pen Pal?
Yep,
You have?
yep.
I never did. Must have been before my time.
What?
Thank you.
Peggy
What kind of
Pen
pen pal?
Pal. This doll, have you ever heard of this doll? Peggy Pen Pal? Oops.
Patty Play Pal?
No,
Yes.
not Patty
Peggy.
Play Pal. No, no, no. Peggy Pen Pal. She copies what you draw, trace, or sketch.
No.
Can you show us a picture?
Yeah,
Mr.
it's up
Robbins?
there. Yeah, you have to look at YouTube and you'll see a picture.
Oh, darn it. I'm not on YouTube.
Peggy Pen Pal.
Never heard of that.
Have you never heard
Did
of
you
that?
hear of that, Davida?
Yeah.
Davida has heard of
Um,
her.
As soon as I see her, I have a feeling I think Daisha had her.
Oh, wow.
Is she sitting at a
Don't
desk?
remember that.
Yes.
Yes, Daisha. I got it for Daisha.
Are you
She
serious?
had cricket, and she had this one.
Cricket.
I'm going to go to YouTube. If I start echoing, tell me.
Okay.
Can you see it yet, Davida?
No. Mm-mm.
I'm going to go back.
Yep.
I didn't
Yep.
like
She
that.
had it.
Shoot, I don't know how to go back.
What? You don't know how to go back where?
Well, now I'm in YouTube. Am I making noises?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, I got to go back to stack.
Go to Zoom.
I'm trying. Oh, this might be it.
Oh, Susan.
Okay, that's better, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, you know, Bella Mack told me about another song that used to make me very sad.
Oh no.
On Top of Spaghetti. Like when that kid lost his
Are
poor
you
meat.
kidding?
When that kid lost his meatball
Oh no.
and he was running after it all over the place, I felt
Yeah.
terrible for him.
Oh my.
Mine's about the Magic Dragon. Man, I cry at that still to this day.
Oh, I can't listen to that. But what was the reason for you?
Because
Little...
dragons live forever, but not so little.
Yes. And didn't you
Isn't
think
that awful?
didn't you think he dies?
Yes.
But he doesn't, people told me. They said no, it just meant he grew up.
Oh.
But I hated that.
What song?
Puff the
Puff the
Magic
Magic
Dragon.
Oh, yeah.
I couldn't listen to that. I would put my hands over my ears and just run when that song came on.
Oh my goodness. I thought he died.
So did I.
But
I
remember,
didn't
Joe,
understand why
Jack
people
didn't come
loved that
back.
song so much.
What?
I didn't understand why
Yeah.
they liked it.
I know, I didn't like it either.
The magic dragon lives
Listen to
by
who's singing it.
That was
Love it.
Scooter. Do, do, do.
Yeah, my mom probably did sing it to me and I cried the whole time.
and frolicked in the autumn mist in a rainbow only.
Poor Paul.
About to do something that you know is wrong, and you decide to do
no.
something else. Okay?
Do you want to hear that marvelous Mexican parsley story?
Okay, is that about
Okay.
cilantro?
Sure.
Marvelous Mexican
Okay.
parsley story?
Yeah. It's their neighborly get well gift contained a mysterious ingredient. In southwest Los Angeles, in the late 1940s, only the most daring cooks would add a dash of cider vinegar to the basic ketchup and mayonnaise mixture they deemed French dressing. When Mama once sneaked a smidgen of sugar into her peas and carrots, Daddy grumbled all evening about no need for fancy food. In those days, on West 59th Place, condiments consisted simply of good old salt and pepper, with mainly a sprinkling of paprika to dress up deviled eggs. Though Mama kept a tin of nutmeg on hand for pumpkin pie, she thought herbs were to be prescribed by Chinese doctors, not added to her stew. Years would elapse before taco stands began to spring up in our neighborhood, and Dean Martin had yet to immortalize pizza with That's Amore. Remember that song?
Right.
That's
When the
Amore.
moon
yeah.
hit you, yeah.
Yep. One of our friends, when they got married and did their dance, the bride and groom, that's the song they danced to.
Really?
Yeah, it was very different. It was cute though. In our community, my parents considered chop suey the epitome of sophisticated foreign fare. In our community, when families fell ill, neighbor ladies cooked extra portions to share with the afflicted. One spring, when everybody but Mama came down with mumps, Mercedes, who used to play with my little brother, learned we were all ill. She knocked on our door, and when she got the news, she said, "I know what will help. I'll tell Mama Sita." A few hours later, Mercedes' mother sent over a tureen of soup and a wax paper packet of tortillas. Mama quickly identified the latter as Mexican bread, reminding us that she had once traveled to Tijuana and had a photo of herself sitting astride a burro to prove it. But she frowned as she stirred the soup, muttering that Mrs. Rio had added some odd green vegetable to the rice and chicken broth. Nonetheless, the soup's heady aroma drew us all to the table, where we marveled at Daddy, who spooned up every bite and even demanded seconds. He even forgot to complain about how much it hurt to chew. With each sip, Mama further furrowed her brow until it resembled an accordion. It's not kale, and it's not chopped green onion, and I don't think it's parsley. She shook her head in bewilderment. Well, Find out what it is, Daddy ordered, and buy some at Safeway, and pour me a glass of sherry. We all blinked. Daddy seemed well on the road to recovery. When the quarantine sign finally came down from our front door, Mama sent me right over to Mercedes' house on a fact-finding mission. Mercedes invited me into her kitchen where her mamacita poured us cups of cocoa laced with cinnamon. Thank you for the Mexican bread, I ventured, eager to show off my manners. At first, Mrs. Rio looked puzzled, but then she smiled. De nada, you're quite welcome. And I'm supposed to ask you about that green stuff in the soup, I continued. Daddy loved it. Mrs. Rios pointed to the wooden box outside her kitchen window. It's growing right there, she said. It's Mexican parsley. I examined the plants closely so I would know what to look for when I got to Safeway. Flat leaves, not curly like parsley, I reminded myself. But when I got to Safeway, nobody in the produce section had ever heard of it. Neither had anybody at Piggly Wiggly. Not wanting to disappoint Daddy, I bought a bunch of watercress instead. Mama shrugged when she saw it. It probably won't make any difference, she reassured me. I'll just mince it up and add some to the canned chicken soup. Daddy, whose cheeks still looked as chubby as a chipmunk's, came to the table. I could sure go for some more of that soup that Mrs. Rios made, he said. But after one taste of Mama's concoction, he sat down his spoon and shook his head. I'll try a peanut butter sandwich, Luella. This soup has no flavor. Mama and I exchanged glances. Nobody ever mentioned Mexican parsley in our house again. Not long after, Daddy gave Mama a copy of the hot off the press Betty Crocker's picture cookbook that he'd picked up at Sears, where he moonlighted weekends in the shoe department. This book is full of good advice, Mama said, thumbing through its pages. Here's a tip I really like. Try to notice things all day so you'll have something to talk about at dinner. Well, that makes sense, I agreed. Mama's cooking, though still basic in ingredients, always tasted great, but now she branched out a little. She produced many batches of delicious molasses crinkles cookies and an occasional salmon loaf entree. Daddy smiled when he heard that would be on the menu. I've added a little chopped celery to the recipe, she bragged. It gives it a lot more crunch. I've made a second loaf to share with Mercedes' family. I hear they've all caught the flu, and this is healthy stuff. Decades later, when the Tex-Mex craze hit Southern California, I discovered bunches of Mercedes' mother's marvelous Mexican parsley in all the stores, where, of course, it appeared under its real name, cilantro.
Oh, I was gonna say I've never heard of Mexican parsley.
Yeah, you did. Did you know that? That's what it is. It's cilantro, Mexican parsley.
Oh wow.
Yeah. Nowadays, it garnishes
gosh,
every
I still make
chimichanga and fajita in the Southland. By telling me it was Mexican parsley, Ms. Rios told some of the truth, but not all. Cilantro, I learned, often went by the name of Chinese parsley. Maybe if I had asked for that all those years earlier,
I'll stop reading.
the Safeway produce manager would have known what I was talking about. The end.
The
I'll
end.
be darned. I did not know that.
Cilantro's good.
Yes, it is.
Yeah,
But I never heard it by Mexican parsley.
Me
I
neither.
had never heard it that way either.
You learn something every day.
You do, don't you?
Yes, you do.
How you doing?
Good night.
You guys cool tomorrow?
No, she's off tomorrow. President's Day.
No romantic day with she's off.
Hi, Dave.
He didn't hear you. He's already down the hall.
Man, that man goes quick.
What are you doing up?
What?
I said, what are you doing up?
Me?
No. I
She
just
was
repeating
she
what
was
you
making the
said.
voice of Dave.
Yes, I was doing his voice.
Oh.
Yeah. I'm really good at imitating people. Really good.
Do. So what'd you do today, Davida?
Just worked on that video, putting it up, and then I started cleaning out my closet,
Mm-hmm.
and then I sat down, and that was my mistake.
Oh, really?
Yep. Then I didn't get back up. That's all I did.
That's
looking
all
through
you did?
YouTube. Huh?
That's all you did?
Yeah. That's it.
Okay.
That's it?
That's it.
That's all she did.
But it took me a while to get that video up because I had to finish that heart and then get that up. And then like I said, I cleaned my closet for a while. But you know how you say when you're cleaning something, it looks worse before it
Oh,
gets better?
yes.
Yeah. Well, now, I mean, everything's everywhere out here. And I have to leave early in the morning to go to the dentist. So I won't be able to get back to it until I get home. So I hate when everything's out.
Your
like this,
bedroom
but-
closet?
In the bedroom, well, it's where my crafts are.
Oh, your craft closet.
Yeah.
My whole house is that way. I really should clean. I'll do it tomorrow.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then the next day, and then the next day.
Because I know I'll feel better if I get it done. You know, like today you said you clean, Carolyn, and you always feel better when you do it.
Mm-hmm. Yep. You do.
I feel overwhelmed.
It's overwhelming.
It's gotten so bad. I used to have someone that came in and helped once a week. And that hasn't happened since last March. And everything is just, oh God, it's just so damn cluttered. And I just need to pitch things, and I need to give away things, and I need to sell things. I need to get them out of here. But no, I just don't even know where to start. It's such a mess.
Yeah, it gets overwhelming.
It is overwhelming. My daughter says, well, just take one corner, work one corner for 15 minutes, and then go to the next corner. And, oh, Lord have mercy.
Right? Yepers.
I got to see two of my grandsons today. Well, on Facebook Messenger, but I got to. They're my youngest two grandsons. They're 2 and 9 months. One's 2 and one's 9 months, and they're always a hoot and a holler to watch and talk to. And one was making me a little Valentine's while his brother was eating it, and then he got mad at his brother for eating it. And my poor daughter, God bless her, she was born to be a mama. And both my daughters got married late in life. And so she had these babies really fast once she got married. And she is doing such a good job, but I remember those days of just, she can't go to the bathroom without somebody wanting to hold on to her leg or crying or whatever. And I remember those days, and I thought, I'll never be able to go to the bathroom again on my own, ever. And now, there's me and a bunch of dust bunnies, and that's it. But I remember feeling like that, thinking, I will never eat another meal as long as I live.
Well,
without
yeah. You always feel you always feel like that. I remember, like, my sister and I would say, my gosh, there's never a time we can just get out of the car. You always have to bring the diaper bag and this and that before you go in the store. And it felt like that would last forever, right? And even
Yeah.
though I did it all over again, it still didn't last forever, you know?
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
it seems like it sometimes. You're like, oh, the diaper bag and this bag and that bag. And yeah,
That is so true, isn't it?
right. You're like, I can never just get out of the car. Car seats, the kids, the car, you know, it's like such a production. You get out, like if you, especially if you weren't in a mall or something, you had to stop. You go, oh, I can't stop again because we got to get everybody out. Ugh. It's like, right? But it ends.
It goes fast.
Like, wow,
Yeah, it goes
does
so
it go fast?
fast.
It seems long at the time. The second
Right.
time around, see, people would always think Ethan was my first, and they'd come up to me in the store and they'd go, oh, enjoy it. It goes fast. And I said, don't I know it? I already have 3 that are, you know, I've started all over again. And then they would say, oh, yeah.
Yeah. It's true.
Mm-hmm.
My boys are 10 years older than my girls, and so it felt kind of like that. I mean, the girls were, what, 7, 6, 7 when the boys, you know, were off to the Marines, and it did feel like 2 different
Two
type-
families. And my mother did the same thing. She had 3 boys and then 2 girls, and even my sister and I were 7 years apart. But still, it was 2 different families. I was born when my brother was going to law school.
It
My
was,
oldest
yeah.
brother, yeah. Ouch.
I don't know why my husband and I waited so long to have more, but I don't think we actually, it wasn't actually a planned thing, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
It just, babies come when they come. I do it all over again.
The stuff that you moved today, where did you put it?
Well, so, I mean, I like a lot of the stuff for the cricket and stuff. I put in my scrapbook cases. I got the new scrapbook cases, and I put my stuff. So I have it just right here under my desk, so I can just grab my paper here. The rest of the stuff I put in the in the living room, and where I'm probably gonna maybe make the craft room. But I organized everything like crazily because everything was all like it had no paints room with this thing, like it was just crazy. So I just organized, kept what I wanted right here, but really neat, and then put some other stuff in the other craft bins where it should be where it should have been, and then I've got things like ready that I have to get to a craft area, but at least it's kind of organized now,
Yes.
you know, and it's not all in the kitchen.
Right.
I love when that's done.
Yeah. Because Jimmy just wanted to go, don't worry, I'll do it for you. I'll throw everything in a bunch of, new time. No! I said, you're not going to do that. That's when I look for something. I don't know. There's no rhyme or reason, So I'm like, no, you're not going to. So no, I was determined to do it my way, and I did.
Would Jimmy be happy with nothing in the house? Is he more of a minimalist?
He is
No.
not a minimalist. Oh my gosh, no. No, Jimmy is the furthest thing from a minimalist. But he's mostly very passionate about the stuff that he finds interesting,
Right.
Not like books or, oh my gosh, more books.
Yeah, I know. You should read us something, Carolyn.
I should read you something?
Yeah,
What would you like?
whatever you want.
The story the other day about what happened around the lake or whatever that was.
Oh, the lake, yeah.
Yes, I've been thinking about that today. I think if he had been tried nowadays in 2000, 21 or whatever year it is now.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think he would have been found guilty at all. I think there was enough reasonable doubt that I don't think he would have been found guilty, but I don't know. I hate the way this story ended, though, because it doesn't tell you if he gets a new trial or what have you. But I think he should get a new trial, but I don't know if there's enough to get there. I don't know if there was enough.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know.
I don't think he killed her. I don't know why I think that. I think because the ex-wife was, they if you tell a 10-year-old something enough times, your daddy killed her. Don't you remember seeing your daddy push her head under there? The child's gonna believe it. Because if you tell anybody enough times anyone's situation, you're gonna believe it a little bit. And a 10-year-old, you can really make them believe it. So I don't even know if the girl hadn't been coaxed by her mother, what have you.
Mm-hmm.
I just don't. So what they went against him was the ex-wife's testimony and the daughter's testimony, and the theories that they had of drowning at the time of the original trial of drowning. And so I think if all that came into play now, I don't think he would have been found guilty.
But I just wonder, why did he stop them from performing the CPR?
I don't know. I the only thing I kind of know, and only just because this just came to my head right now, when my husband passed, he passed at home. He had MS, and it was a planned death, and me and the girls were there, but I was so protective over him that I don't know if anybody would have been, if I would have allowed anybody to do anything to him, if it hadn't been, he was on hospice.
Yeah, but
But
that was kind of
wasn't.
different because you knew, you know what I'm saying? This is a child, and
That's
it was
true.
sudden,
Yeah.
and it was unexpected, and she drowned, and it's not, you know,
That's true.
nothing that was prepared for or anything. So, you know, you
That's
would think,
true.
you know, help,
That's true.
you know?
It wasn't a planned thing. It wasn't something that.
Yeah, and like they
Okay.
said, you know, parents that even though if they can see their child's passed, they'll still try to call an ambulance or get CPR or something,
true.
you know?
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't know why he didn't, unless he was just. I don't know. Because he did know CPR, right?
Well, that varied too. Okay, somebody said he didn't, somebody said he did. You know.
Mm.
Yep. It's crazy.
Well, the woman with the CW case, the woman who gave the lie detector test, she says we've had parents whose kid is practically decapitated and they're calling to get CPR done on them. And so that's what just came to my mind when you said that. Why didn't he do CPR? I don't know.
Okay, well, here's something. Let me see here.
I still need to listen to that story. That sounds
It's a
interesting.
very good story.
You didn't hear it, Scooter?
No,
No, she
Oh,
doesn't
you need to
listen.
go back and listen to it.
I
She doesn't
will.
listen to that stuff.
Yeah, it was very interesting. And the one the day before that too. About
I
that
was
girl.
too much into the drama.
Okay,
Which one
so
was the
this
one
is
before?
something pretty applicable. There's just been a $100,000 reward offered for these Valentine Day murders in a 21-year-old cold case in Littleton, Colorado. And let's see. 2 teens, high school sweethearts, and Columbine High School shooting survivors, Nick Cusselman and Stephanie Hartz Grizzle, were murdered on Valentine's Day in 1999. Possibly just after midnight. The pair were found in a Subway sandwich shop where Nick worked and often closed the shop. after 1 a.m. that night. A female coworker and fellow Columbine student drove past the subway and saw lights on. She is the person who found the bodies and contacted police.
Oh, Lord.
So the victims were Nick Kunzelman, born March 15th, 1984, died at age 15, and Stephanie Hartz Grizel, born March 15th, they had the same birthday. Isn't that weird? They had the same birthday and they died on the same day.
Oh, my.
Isn't that weird?
That is weird.
And they survived Columbine to boot?
They survived Columbine. They were
Oh,
born on the
my.
same day of the same year, and they died on the same day of the same year. At the
How did
age
they
of
die?
50. Excuse me?
How did they die?
They were killed at the subway. That's what I'm going to tell you about. So, let's see. It says Stephanie and her mother spent Sunday at home. It was March 13th of 1999. Stephanie completing homework while Nick worked his part-time job at Subway. According to the elder Hartz Grizel, Stephanie went to bed at 10 p.m., but she sneaked out of her house. According to friends, it was common for Stephanie to meet Nick at the subway when he finished his shift and take him home. Often the pair would stay at the subway to hang out, or sometimes meet other friends and hang out elsewhere. Former coworker Nathan Grill and a group of friends visited Nick at work that night, leaving before Stephanie arrived. Grill stated that Nick last served a customer at 9:55 wearing a red jacket. 12:45 p.m., a female coworker drove past the store, noticed the lights still on, stopped to check on the store. Inside, she finds the body of Nick and Stephanie. Some reports indicated that the coworker witnessed someone exiting the store at this time, and this is where the person of interest sketch came from. Investigation into the deaths of the two teens has produced few clues and fewer results. The main conclusion produced is the theory that the subway was a center of drug sales and likely a money pickup drop-off point. Other than a police sketch, no real leads have ever been shared with the public. Even interior cameras produced no results. So this is the person of interest. A white male, 16 to 20 years old in 1999. 5'7", 5'8" tall, weighing 150 to 170 pounds, clean shaven with blondish hair. He was wearing blue jeans, tennis shoes, a black ball cap, and a black coat with red lining or a red shirt. Why is this? What?
Carolyn, excuse me. Did you say that they survived Columbine?
Yes.
Yeah, but
It's horrible.
Columbine was in April or the last day of March. I thought you said this happened on Valentine's Day.
It says two teens, high school sweethearts, and Columbine high school shooting survivors.
So maybe the year after?
Yeah.
No?
Columbine was 99,
Oh,
wasn't it?
I don't
I
know.
don't remember.
Wait. No, Columbine was 2000, I think.
No,
wasn't it?
definitely not 2000. 100% it was not 2000.
I don't remember.
Well, I could look it up real quick.
April 20th, 99, Potter said.
Well, Nick Kunzelman and Stephanie Hart Grizel loved each other more than their families thought kids could. The two high school sweethearts were drawn together by a love of arts and music. Then on February, that was the wrong date in there. February 14th, 2000.
Oh, that makes
Okay.
no sense.
They were mysteriously gunned down at a Subway sandwich shop where Kunzelman worked. Hartz Grizel was at the shop waiting for Kunzelman to get off work. Hold on, this is a picture of the couple. Okay. Okay, let me see here. The shop at 6768 West Coal Mine Avenue in Littleton, Colorado, was a few blocks south of Columbine High School, and it happened less than a year after the attack that occurred there on April 20th, 1999. One of Kunzelman's co-workers drove past the restaurant and noticed the lights on inside. When the employee entered, they found Hart's and Kunzelman's body behind the counter. Investigators determined both had been shot by an unknown intruder. The murders of Kunzelman and Hart's Griselle remain unsolved. The employee who found them shot also saw a person exit out of the back of the shop, a man who was 5 foot 8 inches tall, white, and had blonde hair. Anybody with information is asked to call Metro Denver Crime Stoppers at 720-913-7867. Now, let's see. Now, let me go back to the other thing.
So they never found them after all these years?
No. It's, yeah. Let's see. It says,
Oh, I love
Stephanie
nursing.
Hart Griselle was a solid student and noted as a good kid. Nick Kunzelman, the same. Both enjoyed music and the arts, not something considered fringe or unusual. On the night of their death, Stephanie sneaked out of the house, something that's considered random, therefore not predictable in terms of premeditated murder. Nick's location could have been known beforehand, so premeditation could be a factor. And Stephanie, a victim of circumstance. There is, of course, could be facts unknown, such as the killer knowing Stephanie planned to pick up Nick. That's mysteries why the two teens were murdered in what appears to be a random killing, while none of the patterns of burglary exist. Rumors of a drug connection aside, there appears to be no real motive for the murders, and even a drug connection draws thin lines. And now there's a $100,000 reward for it. Yep.
That is awful.
See what else this says. Anything else? So that's that. Let's see what else. What other story we have? Jealous husband, 44, murders his wife with a carving knife. Jealous husband, 44, stabbed his wife so ferociously with an 8-inch carving knife that the blade snapped off, and after she told him she was leaving him, is found guilty of murder. A jealous husband is behind bars, facing life behind bars for stabbing his wife to death after she told him she was leaving. Wilfred Jacob plunged an 8-inch carving knife into Linda Vilka's back in a fit of rage at their home in Essex. The attack was so brutal the blade snapped off. In the weeks leading up to the murder, the deluded 44-year-old believed his wife had been seeing other men, including a previous partner, despite the fact the relationship had ended 2 decades before. Jacob was arrested and charged after the horrific stabbing in August of 2019. A jury heard that in weeks leading up to the attack, he became increasingly controlling, consumed with jealousy, and sent numerous abusive messages. Let's see, this is the wife. Why is that so? And this is the husband. And it says, on the day of the murder, Jacob had instigated a situation in which Miss Velika's brother, who was living with them at the time, would be out of the house for the whole day. However, unbeknownst to Jacob, Miss Velika, 41, had confessed to her brother that the marriage was over and she would be telling her husband that day. After the attack, heartless Jacob called 999, claiming his wife had threatened him with a knife and he had pushed her, causing her to fall to the floor. Officers forced their way in and found Miss Velika slumped over against the sofa, with her face and body covered with a duvet. At his trial, he attempted to paint a picture of himself as a loving husband. He told the jury at Chelmsford Crown Court that he could never care for anyone more than he did for her. I made sure she was spoiled rotten. Every time she saw something she liked, I made sure I got it for her. This is, I guess, the house that they lived in. But it took a jury less than 2 hours of deliberations before they returned a guilty verdict. The couple heard how the couple's marriage had been deteriorating in the months leading up to the killing. Andrew Jackson, prosecuting, said Jacob carried out a powerful attack after his wife had told him she was leaving him. In the weeks and days leading up to the murder, the defendant had become consumed with jealousy, believing his wife was seeing other men or in contact with other men, and he bombarded her with unpleasant messages. Linda had felt controlled, and we say manipulated, and not surprisingly, she resolved to leave the defendant. The events of the preceding days and weeks came rapidly to a head in the short hour he had told the jury. Police had previously been called to the couple's home on August 11th after Mrs. Velika had been bombarded with WhatsApp messages accusing her of cheating. Mrs. Velika was stabbed twice in the back and again in the stomach with a kitchen knife, and she also suffered injuries to her neck, face, and hands. A 999 call made by the defendant was played to the jury. Jacob could be heard saying that his wife was lying unconscious on the floor after he had confronted her about online messages she had been sending to another man. In the 999 call, he could not remember any more details of what had happened, claiming to have suffered an epileptic fit called an aura. But Mr. Jackson told the jury there was no scientific evidence to back up the defendant's claims, and Jacob had not suffered any epileptic episodes since 2010. After Tuesday's guilty verdict, Detective Chief Inspector Stephen Jennings said this was a horrific, brutal attack on a woman who was trying to free herself of a jealous and controlling husband. In a premeditated step, Wilford Jacob made sure he was alone with Linda for a prolonged period of time. When she told him their marriage was over, he attacked her with such aggression and force the knife broke. Jacob is a dangerous individual who now faces a life sentence. Essex is a safer place for it. Jacob is due to be sentenced at Chelmsford Crown Court. Okay.
Wow.
I watched the first 3 episodes of Cecil Hotel.
Did you? My son watched it. My son watched it too. He wasn't impressed. Were you? Did you like it?
Not as much as other people have been.
I wasn't impressed.
My son didn't think it was so great.
I thought it was pretty boring.
Today marks 19 years since 2 teenagers were shot and killed at a sandwich
What's
shop.
the big hype about it?
County investigators still don't know.
I don't know because this was before these. I don't know. I think because they had the eerie videotape of the young girl that went missing. I think because Richard Ramirez stayed there at one time. I think it's because there was a big true crime. People kind of started off that way and it was Facebook, and everybody was trying to solve the murder or solve what happened to her. But I really wasn't. Yeah.
There have been a lot of murders at the hotel. And, I mean, the girl who went missing, it's believed she wasn't even murdered.
That was the last thing that I heard. Yeah, that she had been maybe suicidal, and she was a little bit bipolar sometimes, and she may have drowned herself.
Or it was accidental because she was thinking somebody was after her and she got into the water tank to hide from somebody.
Right.
And she didn't realize what she was getting into, and she ended up drowning.
The
And
woman.
I don't think it was on purpose.
You don't think so?
No, I
The
think it was
woman-
accident.
The woman who ran the manager of the hotel. Now I would have thought she was suspicious. She was kind of cocky. I would have looked at her a lot.
You'd probably have to be cocky to run a place like that.
I guess.
Mm-hmm.
I guess.
I would think so.
It's a
They had,
beautiful place. Beautiful
and
place.
the police
Beautiful
were,
hotel.
the police were called there many times every day.
Oh yeah.
So she had a lot on her plate.
And she was probably pretty young at the time because I don't know what year this happened. But she had been the manager for 10 years when it happened.
Mm-hmm.
Now I doubt if I watched the Night Stalker guy. Now that would probably scare me. That
It
would probably,
will, believe
yeah,
me.
I imagine so. Yeah, I live by myself. I don't know if I could watch it,
Yeah,
but
don't do it.
I won't. Self-hydrate won't. No, that probably will scare me. That guy gave me the EBGBs.
Yeah,
Even
I
then.
can watch pretty much anything, and that one, I still have to watch the end of it, and it'll be during the day.
Mm.
I didn't really think it was that scary.
What, more than scary, I guess it just gave me the creeps because of it showing, some of the actual photos and everything, and just
That
how
was kind of
diabolical
gross.
he was.
Yeah, that was kind of gross.
Yeah, I guess
Mhm.
that might be more than anything.
Yeah.
I don't know. It just really, it was bizarre the way it affected me. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
I could have gone without seeing those photos.
Yeah. I mean, they were, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And you know, oh,
Go ahead.
sorry, and you know why he's also creepy? Everybody could be his victim.
Yeah.
It could be
That's
a
Anybody,
man,
yeah.
it could be
Yeah.
a kid, it could be a woman. Oh,
Man, child, it didn't matter
Yes.
to him.
Oh, no. Yeah.
You're right, Jeanette.
Yeah. It didn't matter.
There was no rhyme or reason of his killings.
Mm-mm.
he had some sinister in him.
Oh yeah, for sure.
People.
He looked evil.
He did. I mean, I truly believed he was evil.
Evil.
Mm-hmm. Me too.
And very mentally ill to boot. Evil
Yeah.
in both. Now, he stayed at that Cecil Hotel. He would do his killings, and then he would climb up all bloodied and in his underwear and walk through, and nobody would say a thing to him. Or he climbed up the wall, one or the other. But people would see him bloodied or just in his underwear, and nobody gave I look back on him. I
It
see
kinda
a
goes-
naked man walking through a lobby. I would probably really question it. But I
Kinda
guess
goes
in
back
my
to what-
neighborhood.
It kind of goes back to what was going on in that time, in that era. Also, what was going on in the years that this was taking place. And there was a lot of partying going on.
That's
And
true.
then- And the Cecil Hotel was not in a good part of the city. It was in a bad part of the city, so they had all different kinds of people that came in and out of that hotel.
But I have a question. All those serial killers comes from like Ted Bundy. He's already dead. All from the past. Are serial killers not active anymore, or don't we see them or notice them?
I don't
Or
know.
maybe the cops don't catch them anymore. Most of
Or may-
them serial killers are older.
Maybe they catch them too fast.
Okay.
Maybe.
Some
But
of
you
them
don't
before.
hear it in the news about it.
Maybe
Oh,
they
wait a
do.
sec. Let me see.
The DC sniper, but I don't know how long ago that was. It's probably
Yeah,
longer than I think.
Yeah, okay, but you have those people who are shooting. But I mean, the serial killers like Ted Bundy, like BTK, and other serial killers like the Night Stalker, the Hillside Stringers. You don't hear a lot about them anymore. That sort of serial killers,
I'm sure they're still
No.
out there.
but not in the news.
Yeah.
Maybe they do catch them faster
Yeah,
before
maybe.
they get to a lot of victims.
Well, it says the term serial killers feels dated, like a relic of the past, a totally terrifying relic, sure, but a relic nonetheless. Current references would describe Joe Goldberg on You, or maybe the vibe of a Tinder date gave off. America's most notorious serial killers like Ted Bundy, John Wayne Gacy, Jeffrey Dahmer, Richard Ramirez were all active more than 20 years ago, and while several major serial killers have been active in the 2000s, like Israel Keys, DC Snipers, Lee Boyd Malvo, and John Allen Muhammad, and Anthony Cleveland Strangler Sowell, the recent arrests of high-profile serial killers like the Golden State Killer and Samuel Little hinged on crimes committed several decades ago. The stats indicate that the sense that active serial killing is on the decline. According to the Radford University Serial Killers Database, a collection of serial killers data assembled by forensic psychology professor Dr. Mike Anat, serial killers prolific in the U.S. from 1970s to the 1990s, when there was 104 active serial killers operating in the U.S. in 1974, 147 in 1984, and 151 in 1994. But after peaking in the 90s, those numbers went down, and in 2015, the last year data was collected by Radford, they estimated that only 30 serial killers were operating in the United States, numbers equivalent to the number of active serial killers in the 1960s. There are a number of ideas why this drop in serial killing occurred. According to criminologist Dr. Greg Broberg, PhD, a professor at the School of Transformation at Arizona State University, technology has helped. The wide use of the internet has made it much more difficult for serial killers to stay hidden. Broberg said, as the exchange of information has become instant, a single photo or tip can spread across the country in a click. Advances in identifying possible suspects through DNA, etc., now act as a deterrent for serial killers, Broberg adds. The fear of being caught because of a fallen hair could be enough to keep someone from attempting to commit the crime at all in some cases. That said, Broberg points out that some serial killings go unaccounted for in cases when the victims are members of vulnerable populations, sex workers, runaways. They are all prime targets, and their murder may go unsolved and uninvestigated. What's more, in many states, a large percentage of stranger-to-stranger homicides go without being prosecuted, Broberg said. While the fact that the amount of serial killers in the U.S. has dropped substantially over the last few decades might sound like a relief, the grim reality is that it could be due to the fact mass murder defined by a minimum of 4 victims in a short period of time has simply become more common as a result of the widespread availability of guns.
I see that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's interesting. That's very interesting.
Yes. Food for thought.
Yes.
Because mass shootings are way up. Schools, the churches, the movie theaters. I mean, that's bigger than it has been that I can remember.
Yeah.
But there were a lot of blunders in that Ramirez case with the police. And that Laurel Erickson, I mean, she really irritated me in that, because she would go against what the police were saying to her not to say anything, especially when she mentioned his shoes. Had she not mentioned his shoes, I think they would have caught him faster. But he watched the news all the time. So everything that was said, he would take heed to it. Because she wanted to get her story out.
And you know how BTK was catched? Well, yeah. He was typing on a computer. He was, yes. Before that, he was writing his letters but then he was typing on a computer because the years, the how do you say that?
Oh.
Everything was changed later on. So they
And they
found.
connected that to that computer to the church? Was that it?
Yes, exactly. Yes. So that's how they
Oh.
catch him. Yes.
I forgot about that.
Yeah. Stupid. Nah, not stupid, but
But right.
but he was always handwriting his letters. So before that, yeah.
I forgot about that.
And also, and that's my last point, but also the how do you call those murders with the smiley face? Not the other man who is happy smile.
Smiley
killer, but-
face killers?
Sorry.
The smiley face killers?
Yes. People are saying maybe they are on internet. Is that true? That there might be a group who are doing this.
Oh.
Hmm.
But that's not a fact. That's only a question.
Oh.
So I'm not sure about that, but that it's not only one person, but that's more a group of serial killers who are so organized that they are having contact via internet or via the computer. But that is some rumor. It's not a fact.
That's scary.
Because time is changing also. Because you have the internet, computer.
Right.
Yeah.
But I hope to live and that they will catch the Long Island serial killer because that case is, I don't know.
Yeah, a long time.
But Mommy and the others, I was talking about that we don't have murders or crimes here in Holland. But you remember Joran van der Sloot?
The what?
You remember Joran van der Sloot? Natalie Holloway, the murder.
Oh, yeah, yes.
Yeah.
Vandersloot. Vandersloot.
Yeah, Van der Sloot.
Yeah.
We call it. His name is Van der Sloot. That's
Oh. Okay.
yes, not Van der Sloot, but Van der Sloot. That's why maybe. But he was. There is a crime reporter in Holland, and his name is Peter de Vries, and he did an undercover operation. And he was hitting all the cameras in the car, and he asked Patrick, a friend of Joran, to sit in the car and make those tapes and ask him about Natalie Holloway. And he didn't confess.
Me again?
Sorry.
Not you. Sorry.
Oh, and he did not confess on the tapes, and so Peter asked the friend of Johan van der Sloot, Patrick, to have hidden cameras in his car, and every time when Johan was sitting in the car, Patrick was always talking about where Natalie was. If he has murdered her or not. He never confessed, but he told that she was not so well and that he did go with a boat on the sea, on the ocean, and drop her body. And that's on tape.
Mm-hmm.
And this man, Peter de Vries, he also called the mother, Pat Holloway, to come to Holland. We all saw it on television, and he sat her down in a cinema, and she was looking at that videotape, and her words were at that moment, "You got it all, Peter. You got it all." And that was for her a shock because I don't want to say that Joran was confessing to the murder, but he said very disturbing things. And then she knew that he was behind this. And later on, when he was in the prison because he killed Stephanie Flores in Peru, Peter asked her to come with him to the prison, and she asked him again. We saw it all in Holland. She asked him again, and he was so arrogant, Joran van Sloot. He didn't say anything, and he let her. I mean, how can you do that to a mother? She went all the way to Peru. We saw it every time. And this Joran van Sloot, he was sitting in a talk show with Peter R. de Vries. So he was the one who was helping Beth Holloway a lot. And Peter told him, I know you did it at the talk show. And then he threw some wine in the face of Peter R. de Vries, Joran van der Sloot. Oh, people in Holland, we hated him. We hated Joran van der Sloot. Yes. And his sisters and his sister and his brothers doesn't want to do anything with him.
Oh.
Till now, yes.
Was he convicted of her murder, or is her murder still?
No, he did. No, he didn't confess, but he told Patrick, because you can see it on YouTube also. Patrick van der Eem, a friend of Joran, and he was working with Peter R. de Vries, that's a crime reporter from Holland. And they had hidden cameras, everything, and he got also an Emmy Award for this documentary, Peter R. de Vries. And yeah, but he was not saying that, oh, I killed her, Natalie, but he told Patrick that, yeah, she was a bit sick and I threw her in the ocean. So he told a little bit in Dutch.
Oh.
But he made the mother suffer, and we saw it every time in Holland, and we had a lot of discussion. It was hot news here, and we hated him. He was so a monster. He was called a monster on TV. Yeah.
That poor mom.
Sorry.
That poor mom.
Yes, and he is now married, and he has a child now.
Wait, he's married and has a child?
Yes, he has a child. Yes, he's married now. He's in Peru. He has many years for Stephanie Flores. He was gambling a lot, so he used her laptop. He killed her in the hotel room, and they had him on the camera, so he knew. And he was finished to Chile, but they caught him, and he got prison for having killed Stephanie Flores. Yes, but he's now married, and he has a baby, a child. Maybe the child is now a few years old, but the name of the child is Dushi. Yeah, and his father. Some people are saying also that his father helped him, not the mother. The mother didn't even visit a lot him, Joran. The mother is little bit distant, but the father, people are saying that might help Joran. The father helped, but the father had a heart attack. He died. So, and he was a judge. Yes.
Yeah.
It was his profession. Yeah. Higher person.
Oh.
His father, Joran van der Sloot.
I forgot about that.
But this man, Peter R. de Vries, is a crime reporter. He also did the Heineken kidnapping. I don't know if you know that, but in Holland, many years ago, you know the Heineken beer.
Heineken, yeah.
Yes, yes. The CIO, Alfred Heineken, His daughter is now the owner of the beer, but he is now dead. He passed away. But Heineke was kidnapped by 4 men, and Peter de Vries, who helped Beth Holloway as well, he wrote a book about it, and he got one of the 4 people, because one of the 4 people vanished, and he got him. Yeah, he did a lot in Holland. And now, after 20 years, also Peter de Vries, 20 years ago, there was a child being murdered, and the parents knew about Peter de Vries, and they called him and asked him to help them, and he did that for 20 years, and now they have the killer, and the killer is now convicted. Yeah, so it's a very important name. Yeah,
I guess so. Wow. Wow.
Crazy. Crazy.
but you didn't know, Mommy, that he has a child now, that he's married.
No, I don't remember.
No.
Yeah, no, I don't. Yeah, no.
And
Maybe.
if he goes out from the Peru, if he is done with the prison time, then America wants him because he blackmailed Beth Holloway, so he's not safe anymore. And in Holland, we hate him so much. He was
How did
called
he
a
blackmail-
monster. And
How did he
everything.
blackmail Beth Holloway? How did he blackmail?
Yes, he did that. Yes, he did that.
How? What did he do?
I don't know exactly, but she gave him money. She gave him money to tell her the story.
Oh.
She was, I mean, for me, what I saw on TV, Dutch television, she was somebody, I don't know how other people are thinking about, but for me, she was very sincere. She did a lot. She went to the prison in Peru, asked him, what did you do? And she was very kind to him, only to know the answer. And he was oh my gosh, he was so arrogant.
Oh. I forgot all about that.
Sorry.
I forgot all that. I mean, I think I remember parts of these stories, but I
Can I
forgot
do
about
this?
it.
Hi,
Yeah.
Lucky. Hi, Julie Grayson.
That poor woman. So he's still in prison,
Yes, he's still in prison.
even though he has a wife and a baby? Like, so he gets visits with his wife, evidently?
Yes, but he got married in a prison.
But he has conjugal visits?
Yes, yes, I think so, because he had, he had
Well, Ted Bundy became a father in prison, and
yes, that's true, yeah.
oh my.
But what I told about Patrick from the AIM, it's on YouTube. You can see what he's saying, because it's also that there are subtitles, so you can watch it also in English. So it's very easy, but he doesn't confess. That's the problem.
His
did
name is
not
Frederick what?
Sorry?
What's his name? Frederick
Patrick.
Peckett?
They know Patrick, like Patrick Jane of The Mentalist. I don't know how to say that.
Patrick.
Yes,
Got it. I'm sorry. Okay.
and he was a friend of Joran, and he got a little bit money. They gave him a little bit money to do this undercover operation, but he did a good job. Yeah.
Oh my.
And I was stunned with that. Maybe I'm repeating myself, but she said it. You have it all. You have it all. So it was exactly, yeah. But this crime report in Holland, he's like, I don't know. He's maybe more difficult than Nancy Grace. He lives crimes.
Hmm.
Some people find him annoying, but what he does for a lot of parents and family of crime victims, and it's so much. Yeah, it's too much. Sometimes I think, does he sleep?
So he's been doing this for decades.
Yes,
if
yes,
he
he's
was a
around.
Heineken.
Yeah, he's around 60, I think, and he does it now for 40 years. Yes.
Wow.
Yeah. And 20 years ago, the parents of Nicky, that's the boy who was 10, 11-year-old, and he was found dead. They cannot say why he's dead because he was laying down and it is underwear. Okay, he was sexual, but they don't know because there was something with the body. They cannot see why he was dead, but okay, they said that maybe somebody that did the SA with him and killed him.
Mm-hmm.
And then 20 years ago, his parents, Nick's parents, asked him, this crime reporter, to help them, and he did that for 20 years. And now they have the one who killed Nicky, and they thanked him personally. He did more than the cops here in Holland.
Wow.
Yeah.
So if you see this crime reporter wanting to talk to you in a car, you better run.
Oh, he did a lot. Oh, Kathy, he did a lot of shows in Holland. He stopped with it. And oh my God, it was so funny how he went to people and go after them. Yeah.
Wow.
And he didn't stop. He didn't stop. He even show up at somebody's work.
Wow. Well,
But
good for him.
You know, if parents come to you and they know that I mean, how do you say this? He knew that Johan van der Sloot had killed Natalie. He tells it to everybody. Maybe in America or in Holland or everywhere, people are a little bit reserved about it. But Peter de Vries told everybody, I know that he did it. He tells it straight away.
Wow. I forgot so much about that case.
Yeah, but I talk too much now, I think.
No.
No, not at all.
Yeah.
Fine.
Interesting. Oh.
Yes,
and
very.
he wrote the first time he wrote a book about the Heineken kidnapping, because this man, Alfred Heineken, he was the CEO of the beer, very big company. Now his daughter is the owner of the beer, the company. And he asked one of the kidnappers to write a book about this case, and there is a case, and there's also a movie with Anthony Hopkins. Yes. And he found also one of the 4 kidnappers in South America. Yeah.
What was the movie? Do you remember?
No, but it has to do with the Heineken kidnapping. The beer, you know, Heineken. Anthony Hopkins played Heineken in that movie.
No.
But it was not so popular movie, I think.
Mm.
And also Rutger Hauer. You know Rutger Hauer? The Dutchman who played in the movies in America. He played also one time Heineken in a movie. Yeah.
What was the actor's name?
Rutger Hauer. You know, the one who played in Blade Runner, or I don't know, Blade Runner or...
What's the name again?
Rutger Hauer. Maybe I say it in Dutch. Rutger Hauer. How do you say that?
Blade Runner.
Blonde man.
Who?
He was, I think last year he passed away.
Blade Runner. I can't think of the movie. Blade Runner.
I don't know. That's yeah. I know the movie, but I didn't see it.
I can't think
Yes,
of it at all.
but Potter has the name correct. This is a Dutchman who played in America in a couple of movies. He passed away. He's the only Dutchman besides one of the actors who play in the Game of Thrones. But he's one of the few Dutch actors who played in America, who acted in America.
Oh, I don't know. I didn't even watch
But
Game
Paula
of Thrones
has
either.
the name correct. Yes, I see it in the chat.
I can't see chat.
Who has the name? Which one? Who has it?
Paula.
Sadie, you broke up just then. I didn't hear what you said.
Oh, Paula
Potter?
has the name
Oh,
Ruth
okay.
Hauer. I can also write it down.
Potter. Let's see.
But also with Nicky Verstappen. Nicky Verstappen is the boy 20 years ago. And it was a long time. I know in America there are more children missing and killed and not solved. But it was
Ruder Har. Okay.
a high profile case in the Netherlands. And Nicky Verstappen. And yeah, the crime reporter asked the police, he did more. He asked the police to go for a DNA match. So everybody around the area had to give. Okay, you could say no, but they had to give the DNA. And that's how they catched him, the killer. And it was only because the crime reporter who helped Beth Holloway as well, he told the police, you do it. And he went to the judge and with the parents and he did a lot. Procedure, how do you say it, the way to do it. He did a lot. He did a lot. He talked with the judge. He talked with lawyers. He write the cops. Everything he did. And finally, after 20 years, they catch the man because of the DNA. Yeah. And now he's in prison.
What did they say in chat, Carolyn?
No, nothing much. Nothing much.
With what? The actor?
Yeah.
Rutger Hauer or something like that?
Oh.
I've never
Yes,
heard of
he played Heineken in Heineken. Oh my gosh!
I don't know who that is.
You know the beer, the
Kidnapping Mr. Heineken is a movie in 2015, Julie Grayson said. Kidnapping Mr. Heineken.
yeah.
I don't remember that.
I don't remember
And
either. I've
the
never
crime
heard of that.
reporter Peter de Vries, that is his name. He wrote a book about it. He talked with one of the kidnappers personally. Became also a friend. And why I'm saying that he became his friend also, because when he died, many years later, he was at his funeral having a speech, holding a speech. They became friends. Can you believe that? But okay. Yeah.
That was nice.
What time is? Oh my gosh, it's 4:05 a.m. Yikes. It's a late night. That's later than we usually are. And Scooter and Davita, everybody else is like, oh,
Can I say something else?
yeah.
I'm here, I was just,
Yeah. You know,
ready to get in bed.
oh, so, you know why they catch those kidnappers? Because
Okay,
they were also at the Netherlands until how do you say that in? Oh my gosh, I can only know the Dutch word Nederlandse Antillen, the Aruba, where Johan van der Stoot were also over there.
Oh.
How do you say that? Dutch Antillen, I think. Is it possible that you say that in English?
Say it again.
Say it again, yeah.
Dutch. Sorry.
Say it again.
I speak now Dutch, but in Dutch it's called Nederlands Antillen, and I don't know how to say it in English. Is it Dutch Antillen or the Caribbean, the Aruba, Curaçao?
Aruba?
Yes, over there. How do you say?
Antigua?
No, in Antillen. I think Antillen, Dutch Antillen.
Antilla.
Yes, and you have a Dutch part and you have a French part. And those kidnappers were so clever. They went from Holland to the French part. So the Dutch government, cops, everybody could not do anything because that was French part. And they had something going on. I don't know how they did it, but then they made a move, those kidnappers, to the Dutch part, and then they were arrested. But they had to do a trick but those kidnappers were thinking, oh, I'm sitting on the French part, you cannot catch me. And the Dutch government did something to have them move to the Dutch part on the same island.
Mm-hmm.
And then they arrested them.
I'll be darned.
And yeah, maybe in years they will get them. I don't know, but they did some trick. I don't know, but I forgot the trick. It's maybe not important, but yeah, they were so clever. They were staying on the French part because they knew that the Dutch government could not do that anything over there on the same island, and it was a little island, you know.
Yeah.
So really funny. Okay, wow. But that was all. That was all. Yeah.
Wow.
Crazy. But I'm going to turn into a pumpkin if I don't
we
go to bed.
Yes, we have to go.
Yeah, I have to
I
go.
hope it wasn't boring, Mommy.
No, you're not boring at all, Jeanette. It was very interesting.
No,
Not at all.
not boring at
It's
all.
very interesting.
Yeah.
good, interesting information, actually.
Yeah.
A lot of good information.
Yeah, but I'm sorry that I don't speak very good English.
You
because
speak fine.
No, but
I
if
love
I
hearing
speak
you
Dutch,
talk,
then I can
Jeanette.
say more, and yeah, it's not easy.
No, it's just fine.
You did
Jeanette, I
great.
love hearing you talk.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah. You speak fine. So, but
I love
yeah,
you.
come on and tell us some more stories next time.
No, that was all.
No.
No, that was all. That was all.
That's all. You don't have any more. Nothing more to
No,
share.
there's nothing more at all.
No, zero.
No, I told now everything about Holland, and now it's funny. Oh my God. It's really funny.
Oh, then you'll have to make some new news or something. I don't know. Find out something. Yeah.
Could hear me. Okay, never mind.
Yeah.
Never mind. Jeanette, I was just saying I love hearing your voice. I've always liked it when you called in.
Yes, you are lying.
No way.
I love it. I love
I've
it.
always liked it.
No, but no, there's nothing anymore in Holland. That was the list of all the crimes in Holland. There's nothing else. No, it's that. So yeah, that's why the high profile cases. Yeah.
All right. So,
Love
well,
you guys.
I'm gonna go to bed, but yeah, thanks guys for coming in, and see you tomorrow. I hope everybody had a good night, and prayers for all that need them. God bless you guys. Thanks for coming on the panel, everybody. Good to hear from you, Jeanette, Kathy, and Nana,
Good
Patty,
night,
of course,
sweetheart.
and Scooter, and so yeah, it was great. Tthanks, and we'll see
Good
you
night,
tomorrow. Good
everybody.
night, everybody.
Love you
Have a
guys.
good
Love you
day.
guys.